You're good.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into one of our favorite things that we get to do every year, or at least for the last 2 years, is this watch along where we watch the game with you. Now, if you're looking for the game, you need to check out urbanedgenetwork.net. They will have the game for you here tonight. It should be absolutely a great ball game. The first national championship game getting ready to get underway in, well, about 2 minutes away from first pitch between Southeastern out of Lakeland, Florida, and the undefeated Pilots out of LSU Shreveport. Should be an absolutely fantastic game. I'm Robbie Gutierrez, and you can find me at RobG1063 on X. And I'm joined by the mastermind of all of this, Mr. Connor Darnell. Connor, how do the people get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at GotDunks21. I used to play basketball. I think we go over that every time we do one of these, but former basketball player, former NAIA sidearm closer, but, we're here to talk some NAIA baseball.
So that's Connor, and of course we're joined by Taylor Thomas. Taylor, how do the good people get a hold?
Be a courtesy runner in the NAIA, so I think that trumps sidearm pitchers.
And of course, last but not least, is going to be Robert Garza, who's the head coach of that team down in Fort Worth. Can you tell everybody a little bit about you and where you might be the head coach of? I don't know if that's obvious enough.
Hey, you know it. Head baseball coach at the, wait for it, Texas Wesleyan Rams in Fort Worth. In Fort Worth, Texas. Yes, that is us. I do want to say one thing, if it's okay. Sure. There's a little 9-year-old girl. She's got a huge baseball or softball tournament tomorrow. So in the product placement that's being put out there, I want to give a shout out to the Ellis County Smash 9U softball team that has a tournament tomorrow. So as you can see, the colors are all the same. So huge shout out to them, and we're looking forward to not only a great game tonight, but also some pretty cool softball from the 9-year-olds tomorrow. Thanks for having me, by the way. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Second year that you jump on and do this with us. We've actually got the starting lineups for tonight in already. Southeastern will be the visiting team. They will lead off with Pinella, who will play left field, Collins in right, Hicks at DH, Alfonso Villalobos at shortstop, Strom at first base, Castillo behind the plate, Struer, I believe that is, at second base. I don't know if I can read the handwriting here. Heinrichus at third, Rossi in center, and Agnel Miranda back on the mound. He threw 47 pitches yesterday and actually got the win in that game over GGC. His line in that game looks like this. He went 2 2/3, gave up 3 hits, no runs, struck out 1, walked 1. 47 pitches, 29 strikes. Miranda will get the start on the mound today. And Taylor, that's a little bit different than what we thought we were going to get with we thought we might see Robertson on short rest, but they're going to go out here with Miranda first.
Yeah, one of their more experienced bullpen arms too, and we saw him throw extremely well yesterday to get to this point too. But yeah, I was right there with you. I think for Shreveport having to be beaten twice, and this one just needing the one win, you kind of expected possibly to see an opener if they're going to use Brock Lucas like that, who's typically their closer. But obviously in the situation that Southeastern is in, just needing a win to extend your season one more day and force that necessary game, I feel like you're going to see Aaron Robinson at some point in time during this game. But nonetheless, Gabe Grinder sticking with one of his better bullpen arms, just like Coach Neffendorf is with Shreveport. So this one should be interesting to monitor to start.
This game should be a lot of fun. in just everything that has to happen here. Southeastern trying to extend the season, and we're underway already here in this one. As I was very late pulling up the game, but we are underway here tonight between Southeastern and LSU Shreveport. Guys, already getting off to a full count to get this game going. Starting lineup for Shreveport, we'll get to that when they come up to bat. But Pinella leading this game off. And, it's really interesting. Brock Lucas on the mound for Shreveport. Taylor, thoughts on him?
Yeah, we've seen him throughout this entire year, somewhat not typically as many innings as you would see from your typical closer, but that's kind of a credit to the 1, 2, and 3 starting pitchers that Shreveport has had. They'll typically throw a complete game every single time they take the ball. But down the stretch, too, especially Lucas has been able to get some extra work in and get multi-innings of relief appearances. And I think it should pay off for him tonight because he's been super, super good in the postseason out of the bullpen when they needed him.
One out here in the game. I'm on enough Zoom calls throughout the day that you would think I would know when I'm muted. But a 1-1 count now to Collins, who's up to the plate. Guys, if you're just joining us for the first time ever doing all of this, you can get the game on the Urban Edge Network, or the Urban Edge Network has been fantastic in partnering with us during this World Series and getting all of this going. So we've got the game all in different ways. Connor, I know, is working out of, you're technically on vacation right now. This one's actually going to fall in. So we've got our first hit of the game, and Southeastern's got a runner on.
Yeah, there goes a no-no.
Good news for you and me.
Yeah, you know that. Cody Faulkner, baby. Cody Faulkner.
Yeah, Blake Payton gave me some trouble there gave me a little bit of heartache there for Tennessee Wesleyan for a while, but that was absolutely interesting to watch because you actually thought if there was a pitching group that you thought could throw a no-hitter in this tournament, it's this group. I mean, there are some massive arms. I mean, you've seen some of these arms in this tournament. I mean, how good some of these guys are.
Yeah, I mean, when you get to the very end of the season, it's all about pitching, right? Everybody can hit a fastball. Everybody stays with the off-speed pitch. It really comes down to the pitching. And when you look at the 10 teams that got to the World Series, there's some pretty special arms. And even going into the opening rounds, there's a ton of really good arms out in the NAIA landscape. So, seeing Shreveport out there, they've got 3 aces, right? We've seen them. We recruited them as well. So, yeah, I kind of like what Brad has in his arsenal, not only for the entirety of the season, but going into this championship game as there's a ground ball to second base. Yeah.
So there is a put out there, a 4-3 put out with a runner on second. But again, if you're looking for the ball game, it is for free this year. All the games of the World Series have been for free. It's been a breath of fresh air, something that we don't get to really see often. Urban Edge Network. That's all you got to put. UrbanEdgeNetwork.net is where you should go to take a look at this game. You can have us on one device, have Urban Edge Network on the other device. They have this game in its entirety for free. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. We'll be with you throughout the entirety of the game between Shreveport and Southeastern. This will be a lot of fun. Connor, the first question of the night goes to you. Are the casinos better in Lakeland or Shreveport? I don't think I've ever seen a casino in Lakeland.
Well, I'll just go out on a limb here and say I've never been to Lakeland, but they don't have anything on the Shreveport casino, so I will die on that statement. Bury me at the Horseshoe. That place is the promised land.
I'm afraid for everything I've ever missed at the Horseshoe. That just sounds.
If you need your life change, go to the Horseshoe.
I was told they have the $1 million wall in the Horseshoe. Is that correct?
I wouldn't know because I didn't walk out with any money that weekend, but
Yeah.
definitely life changing.
That's fantastic. Well, we are live right now, keeping up with this game between LSU Shreveport and Southeastern. We're thrilled to have y'all along with us. For those of y'all that are checking in with us and keeping up with this game as well, it's a 1-2 count is what I've got right now to Brock Lucas, and it looks like Shreveport is going to get out of this inning with a fly ball to right. So after a half inning of play, I thought there was an out, but not sure what happened there.
That's what I was wondering too.
Pitch violation, I'm assuming.
It's
It
got to
has
be, yeah.
Has to be pitch clock. That's a new thing, G. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about pitch clock and how that's affected the game this year?
Yeah, it's made it a little bit more quicker. It's allowed the games, the hitters and the pitchers to be more in tune of what's going on, staying focused. I love it. Whenever it came out, we were a bit hesitant, right? Just the transformation of it, the logistics of doing it. But man, it's been a game changer. And I'll tell you what, I've been able to get home after a win on a Friday night, Saturday morning, and eat dinner at home now that the games are going a little bit quicker.
And right after that pitch clock violation, a hit by pitch. So Alfonso Villalobos will reach. So 2 on here now for Southeastern and 2 out. So that was a big one there. If you saw the replay on that, you saw the umpire on the infield signaling that this was he was trying to stop play. He had that pitch clock violation there. We've got a rather should be what, G, about 6 umpires for this game? 5?
I would assume for this one, they're probably going to have 6. Yep, 4 on the infield and then 2 extras down the foul lines. Yep, I see 2 of them down the foul line. So,
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, for something like this, you would imagine that you have to have a lot of umpires in this situation. It looks like a great crowd out in Lewiston. Guys, I mean, should be really interesting. Taylor, are you a little bit surprised? Excuse me, Brett telling us that there was a ball on the field. We can't have the sound on for legal purposes. So, yeah, there was a ball on the field, it looks like. So, getting some help there. We won't have the sound on for this entire game. We can't have it on legally. So we're listening in the dark like we did last year, and a lot of difference. I mean, I can't believe it. So I never thought this tournament would be free, so I'm just happy about that this season. Lucas with the first pitch here to Strom going inside, his second pitch. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. So a couple of different scenarios that happened there to keep the inning alive, or else Shreveport would have been out of it. That could have huge implications in this inning, as now the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike in that. Taylor, I mean, you've gotten to see, I know you're trying to post things. I'm sorry. You've gotten to see a lot of this tournament along with me. I mean, these are 2 of the best teams in the nation going at it right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, the story and the run that the Shreveport has had up to this point kind of goes without saying now, that it's just so nationally known. But for Southeastern too, Gabe Grinder has made a huge impact coming back to his alma mater in his first season. We knew this team was talented. They're always going to be talented, especially recruiting to Lakeland, Florida, as you guys know. But just and really impressive showing so far at the World Series, especially from the lineup too. They've been a very complete team, and one of the leaders at the World Series in ERA behind the arms of obviously Aaron Robinson and Reese Wissinger. We've already seen throw 2 really good outings as well. So Gabe Grinder has really made an impact, and it looks like we got some action now as the Fire are really threatening with the bases loaded.
More than that, actually, this one is going to go off the wall. They're going to call that ball is fair and off the wall. It is going to be a 2-run double there for Strom. We kind of lost it in the light but the umpire signaling a safe call out there in the outfield. So 2 runs come in to score, and right off the bat, SCU takes a lead in the top half of the first inning with 2 outs.
You're cracking me up.
Yeah, how important was that fly ball, the ball on the field, right? Not only in scoring, the Fire being able to score 2 runs right there, but it added more pitches to the Shreveport's pitchers. So that let's see if that comes into play on how long Brad Neffendorf goes with his starting pitcher. So that's probably about 10 to 12 extra pitches, which could equivalent to an inning being taken away from the starting pitcher.
So a pop up to the shortstop who crosses the second base bag, making the catch, ends the inning. So first half inning is over. It is 2-0. Southeastern out in front in this one, right off the jump there. Just heck of a job of hitting there by Strom. But a really interesting development there, whether, ball on the field, pitch clock, whatever it was, really hurt the Pilots as they do not get out of the inning. And Southeastern uses that hit by pitch, 2 runners in scoring position, and then just an absolute linea out to right field that brings in 2 runs. 2-0 SCU in the top half of the inning. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Pilots, and what the starting lineup for the Pilots will be is as follows. Ryan Davenport will start. He's in right. Josh Gibson will bat second. He's at third. Austin Gom at first base, bats third. Vantrell Reed, the second baseman, in the cleanup spot. Jackson Searing is going to hit fifth. He is in left field. Ian Montz, who's had a huge series, is in center. Swenda is the DH. Salarin at short. Aragon is the catcher. And, of course, Brock Lucas, we just saw him in the top half of the first inning. So should be really interesting to see how this one goes and what this all looks like. I mean, Taylor, this is an offense that is really quiet, I feel like, in the overall scheme of things. Like, they are really quiet in where they're at with everything. But when you look at the national numbers, like, they don't have anybody that's throwing out huge just chunks of home runs or anything like that. But when you look at the national numbers, I mean, they are in the top portion of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into this game, as you said, they're not going to leave the yard a lot. I believe it's 73 home runs, the team, which is still a really, really good number. But the pitching obviously gets the credit, very well deserved. But this lineup, 1 through 9, is really, really good, and it's always a tough out. I know Garza can speak on it too, because they've faced this lineup twice already this season. But the top 5 nationally in an average, as well as Southeastern too. But they really, really apply pressure on the bases, especially from the top of their lineup. Their 2 top hitters are really, really dynamic. And Ryan Davenport, and then RAC Player of the Year Josh Gibson over at third base. That's a really, really good one too. And they kind of have started the run all year long at the top of that lineup.
Castillo ended the first inning. We are now hearing from Lewiston that it was a wiffle ball from a couple of kids playing that went onto the field. In that situation right there, an absolute killer in that part. Really, I mean, they gave up 2 runs. That hurts a ton.
Yeah, I can't believe that was the case. I think we all know what Brad Neffendorf's reaction was to that.
Yeah, I'm sure not a very pleased one. Davenport is the hitter here in this inning, and he is going to ground out for the first out of the inning, and it is a 6-3 put out to kick us off on the offensive end for the Pilots of Southeastern. If you got questions, you're watching along with us, you drop a comment in there, and we might answer some of them. We might not. Just depends on what the question is. But Gee, you've seen this lineup twice. I mean, you know this lineup can compete.
Yeah, most definitely. This is my 18th year in NAIA baseball, and definitely seen some quality teams, some high-powered teams. Shreveport's team's probably the most complete team that I've seen in a long time. Just this morning I was trying to think of the teams that we've played throughout the years, and the closest team that I can think of that's is pound for pound similar is the Lubbock Christian team that lost 3 or 4 games one year. That was a legitimate team where it didn't matter. It didn't matter who you could pitch around one guy, but it's like pick your poison. And it's kind of the same deal with Shreveport. They're a little bit different in style of play than Lubbock Christian. Lubbock Christian was really gorilla ball, doubles and dingers. And Shreveport can kind of do just about anything and everything as we get a hit batter right now. So don't be surprised if that guy gets on the move. But you're looking at Shreveport, you're giving up 2 runs in the top of the first. I'm assuming Neffendorf's initial reaction is like, "Gosh darn it!" But he also understands this is a national championship game. His team has won, how many in a row? No panic, right? His teams are going to hit. His team's going to hit. So what? No big deal. And they'll definitely bounce back and put some runs up on the board.
So it was Gibson hit by pitch, and there will be a runner on with 1 out here in the inning. Austin Gom now up at the plate and ahead of the count 1-0. So that is something to keep an eye on there.
Something to look at, Rob and guys, as we're looking at the center fielders playing towards the right center gap. Clearly, they know something. The Fire knows something about Gom, and that's exactly what Gom does. He drives the ball to that right center gap, and he's got some serious power to leave the yard. So let's see if he's able to beat the shift.
Will be interesting to see what happens in this at bat here. Gom trying to get himself rolling in this one and start this game out with a couple of runners on base. Of course, we are with you here all throughout the game here at NAI Ball for our live reaction show to the national championship game. It is something that we do every single year for the last 2 years at least, but something we're going to be doing in the future. And, it's definitely something that we enjoy doing. And we thank Coach Garza for jumping on with us and being part of this with us. Should be interesting to see how this one shakes out as I've got a full count here. I don't know where y'all are at. I think we're all at different times in the ball game, so I'm not really sure what's going on. It looked like an offensive timeout there with Gibson. And we'll see what happens on these next couple of pitches. Again, if you're watching along with us, you got questions, anything that you want to ask us here at NAI Ball, you got questions for Coach Garza, you want to be recruited by Coach Garza, I mean, throw them in there.
Come on down to Fort Worth. We got Panther City barbecue. Hey, I'll even fire up the grill. Hey, the last few days I've built a new fence in the backyard, so we'll fire up the grill, put some hamburgers on, and we'll talk some baseball. And come on down to Fort Worth. But yeah, definitely would love to answer some questions. So if there's anybody out there that has anything for me or for the guys, shoot them out there.
Are you going to get some dual screen action going on? Your alma mater gets going, I think, in about 9 minutes here.
Yeah.
Into this game, Dallas Baptist, and we got back-to-back hit by pitches. As Gom's going to be hit by pitch, brings up Vantrell Reed. Dallas Baptist is going to get rolling here in a little bit.
I am 100% NAIA baseball right now. Now don't be surprised if I get some text messages and I got to call a timeout because I need to turn the TV on to watch the boys in blue. But I'll definitely watch the boys in blue and red at DBU. So they're having a great season. Coach Hefner's done a phenomenal job, and it's awesome that they continue to stay connected with the alumni. So good luck to those guys, and here we are in the first inning. We've got some action.
Yeah, 2 on here. Hit by pitch in the helmet, and so he is going to take his base. Tyler Norris, who is not able to join us at this moment, but Tyler Norris wants you to know that he's technically got 1 year left. So Tyler Norris has 1 year of eligibility left that he's willing to forsake McPherson and head on down to Fort Worth. You just got to
Come on, baby. It's warm down here. It is warm.
It is rather warm, especially down here. Rather warm indeed. A Vantrell Reed at bat here. This is a mainstay in the Pilots lineup. And G, I mean, you've played LSUS a lot. You've been in the same conference. You've played them every year. I mean, Vantrell Reed, he's a big reminder, a little bit of Peyton Robertson. I feel like, you know, he had some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, Reed's definitely my favorite hitter in that lineup. There's not very many hitters that I say, you know what, we got to pitch around, because I'm very confident in our pitchers. I'm very confident in what Coach Shopik's done with our team. But Vantrell Reed, man, what a special hitter. He can do pretty much anything and everything. So he's my player of the game and pick to click.
I like that. All right, Vantrell Reed is Coach Garza's pick to click. Taylor, give me one. Who's somebody that you're going to watch today?
Well, you know, Garza must know me so well because, as you know, Robbie, I love watching Vantrell Reed play. So I'm glad another coach echoes my thoughts too. But for me, I think it starts at the very top. You know, with Ryan Davenport, Diego Aragon and Ryan Davenport last night in the 9-hole and the 1-hole combined for 7 RBIs. But he's the fire starter, really, no pun intended, as they're playing Southeastern. There in that leadoff spot out in right field. He's the leader on the field, too, as well, along with Aragon. Davenport has a big night, already 0 for 1 tonight, but he's going to put together some great at-bats, as we all know. That's my pick.
Connor, before I get to you on this, we have a GIDP. Vantrell Reed grounds into a 6-4-3 double play, and the Fire are out of the first inning. We are end the first inning. It is 2-0 Southeastern, trying to end the undefeated streak of LSU Shreveport. But more than that, they are trying to send us to a winner-take-all national championship game tomorrow. A couple of updates. I've got a lot of different scores pulled up from around the country. Of course, this is one of the best times of the year. We got the NAIA Baseball National Championship Game 1 going on right now. We've got, you know, NCAA Division I regionals happening. Just so many different things going on. I've got an eye on Jack Martyr, who's the recruiting coordinator, former Kaiser University assistant, went to the NAIA World Series in 2017 with Kaiser. But he's the recruiting coordinator at Oregon, so keeping an eye on the Ducks there. They are not off to a hot start against Utah Valley. The University of Texas, of course, handling their business earlier. Was not pretty for a while there, but they got the job done. G's already said he's going to be keeping an eye on, you know, what Coach Hefner and Dallas Baptist is doing as we get ready to start the top half of the second. I know Connor and Taylor are going to be keeping an eye on Oklahoma whenever that happens. Connor, do you have a pick to click, somebody to watch in this game?
I'm sure I do, but you're going to have to come back to me. I'm trying to figure out some YouTube side of things right now. So come back to me in about an inning or so.
Okay, we'll come back to Connor,
I'm running the broadcast ship right now.
He's waiting to see if someone goes big flying. Oh, yeah, that's my guy.
yeah, he's waiting on all of that there. But it should be, you know, we'll get back to Connor. So for myself, I mean, if Southeastern wants a chance in this game, obviously this is an offense that can hit. They're actually, I want to say, second in the tournament right now in hits, and this one is going to get down and be an infield single for SEU and the leadoff runner on. Taylor, I think we were kind of surprised at the pitching matchups in this game. I think we thought it would be different.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of expected to see, you know, one of those starting pitchers for Southeastern coming into tonight like we talked about earlier today and last night, we thought it was going to be Aaron Robinson on short rest too. But Miranda worked a clean inning, got that big double play against a good hitter like Vancho Reed already. And then a bit of a shaky start for the Pilots, obviously, with that fly ball that would have gotten them out of the first inning, nullified due to the wiffle ball on the field. I was shocked by that explanation too. But the Fire cashed in, and then they've done that all World Series long. When you give them an opportunity, they have really, really taken advantage of it. They've had some big innings, obviously going back to a 16-6 win earlier in the tournament with 2 6-run innings apiece. So they have not stopped there, and their lineup is putting together some really good at-bats so far against Brock Lucas.
Wild pitch is going to put a runner in scoring position. Tyler Norris continuing to ask the questions as he wants to know, what do we think the closest game in this streak for Shreveport was? Probably the one that y'all got to see with Tabor at the Cajun. I mean, I also know that there was a game later in the year in conference where they were down in that game. I want to say it was later in the game against Texarkana. Yeah. So
that and Our Lady of the Lake in the conference tournament as well.
Yeah, Our Lady of the Lake in the conference tournament. They needed some late inning magic there in that game. Also, so a lot of really interesting stuff has happened in this. It's incredibly hard to do what Shreveport did. We got to go together to the World Series in 2013, and we had like 2 13-game win streaks, and that was difficult.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. I think in 2016 at Texas Wesleyan, we went 19 or 20 straight wins, and you feel it. You feel it when you're playing a 9-inning game and it's the 6th inning. You try not to count outs, right? That's the worst thing to do is start counting outs. When you do that, it applies pressure on yourself as a coach, but also as a player, right? And these guys know it. It's a remarkable deal what they've been able to do, and if they can continue this streak, which we'll see, and win the national championship, I don't know if there's a greater feat in any sport to have happen than this right here, right? Going perfect in the NFL, that's hard to do. It's only done, I don't know how many times it's been, once, maybe twice. But yeah, but how many times has this ever happened in baseball? Never. Never. So this may be the greatest thing that we've been able to really witness. And unfortunately, I'd like to say that we played a part into it by losing to them twice. So
there you go. There you go. It is going to be 2 on and 2 out after the runner infield single. Piniella just hit by pitch. That's the leadoff hitter. So now coming up to bat is going to be Collins, who's already 1 for 1 in this game. So that will be interesting to see. We'll see if we can get G back on camera here in a minute. But 2 on, and it's going to be 2 on and 2 on and 1. Or 2 on and 2 out, but now we've got the umpires convening here to talk about something. So no idea what they could be talking about here. Is if it was a hit by pitch, you would expect that runner has to go back to second base.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is. As he started on second and getting hit with 2 strikes, as well as it looks like they're gonna send him back to second base. But a big time moment yet again already in the second inning for Southeastern. Your leadoff man gets on that hit by pitch, and you're at 2-3-4 with the chance to extend this lead.
Yeah, really a big moment here. It's an 0-1 count is what I've got here to Collins. We'll see what he can do in the moment.
Oh, boy.
And that one is going to be deep. Oh, man. And that is going to go off the top of the wall. Both runs will score on that. That's got to be a triple. And it is going to be 4-0 Southeastern. They have come out swinging the bats hot, and the hit by pitches from Lucas have not been friendly. The free bases come back to haunt them here.
Yeah, once again, giving this team opportunities, just giving them opportunities, and they're taking full advantage early on, and just a huge punch by the Fire to start this game out.
Absolutely massive from the Fire as they are trying to send this one to tomorrow. And, you know, we've talked about the streak. We've talked about the streak. We've talked about the streak. But, you know, the biggest thing at the end of the day is the streak is cool. But, man, a national championship, it's one of the most incredible things in all of sports to be able to call yourself a national champion. And, you know, LSU Shreveport got this, you know, the streak done, finished the all-time winning streak. This one is going to be hammered, but it'll hook foul. Got the winning streak done. But really, I mean, you had to win one more game. You can't find yourself satisfied with that. So,
I'll tell you what. If as a coach, I'll take a national championship any day of the week. So, icing on the cake is a clean sweep of the season. But I'll tell you right now, there's only one thing on the mind of Neffendorf and his team, but also on Southeastern is to win a national championship. So that's the only thing that matters at this point for both teams.
That's it. That's the only thing that's on their mind, and we can tell you that is the plan here. As Hicks strikes out, the inning is over, but not before Southeastern strikes for two more. They've scored 4 runs on 4 hits and left 2 on base. Shreveport coming up to bat down 4-0. Taylor, I don't think we had this one going 4-0 here.
No, definitely not. But as I said, you know, the Fire have really, really taken advantage of opportunities. Like, we kind of saw this a little bit early on in that Hope International game for Shreveport. I think it was 11 runners left on base for the Royals there. They had a lot of opportunities on Kobe Reeves earlier on in that game. Were not able to cash in, and as he was able to get some big-time strikeouts on the mound. But with Brock Lucas on the mound, who's been their closer for most of this season, the Fire have really, really thrown a big punch. And, you know, going back to the Tabor game, just off the top of my head, not having the rest of their schedule pulled up, but that's got to be the last time, at least that I can remember, that Shreveport has been down with a multi-run deficit so early in the game, too. Because I believe that Tabor game, they were down 6-2 at one point.
Yeah, they definitely were down earlier. These two teams have already met before. I mean, we saw this. What did we see this like 2 days ago, 3 days ago? It was a 10-0 Shreveport win.
I believe so. That was the game that Rhodey threw, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, these two teams had already met before. Isaac Rhodey threw a gem in that game. It was a shortened win for LSU Shreveport, obviously, because they continued the streak there. I mean, coming into this game, if you're Southeastern, you've done a really good job. They compartmentalized that game, came back out the next day, got the job done against Georgia Gwinnett. And now an error is going to get Shreveport with a runner on. So a runner on to start the inning as Searing reaches on an E4 to start the bottom half of the second. So that's a very big thing to play here. I mean, against a team like Shreveport, where you have so much has gone their way, you have to imagine you can't give extra outs, G.
No, you can't. And sometimes when you're in this type of situation, you got to go to the rally hat. So here we are, right? You can't give away outs in these games, especially with these two great teams. Can't give away outs and giving away free bags. So, you know, there's 2 free bags right there for the Pilots. And let's see what happens with what they do here. They try to move the guy over, play for 1 run, get on the board, and let's see what the Fire do from a defensive standpoint.
That's good. Wild pitch. We'll get the runner down to second base. Agnel Miranda threw about 47 pitches yesterday. Back on the mound today. He's the guy that, you know, if there was a guy that had to click today, it's going to be him. If Southeastern wants a chance, he's going to have to keep these bats off the bases. He did a great job of that in the first inning, getting a double play and getting a really good hitter in Vantrell Reed to ground into a 6-4-3 double play here. But runner in scoring position now, again, second inning in a row. Every inning we've had so far, a runner in scoring position for each team. And Ian Montz has had an incredible tournament. I feel like he had some of the biggest hits of the game against Hope International the first time around, Taylor.
Yeah, I completely agree. And 3 for 5 in that contest. None bigger than that 2-run single with 2 outs in the top of the ninth to extend that lead and push it to 6-3. Really, really close ball game throughout between those two teams. But Montz has really, really delivered. And that's big, especially near the bottom of the lineup, too. If you're able to continue to put in good at bats as he's done up to this point and flip that lineup over early on, it's a big step. As Shreveport's got to feel better about themselves should they were able to tack on a few runs here. But to this point, Miranda has done really, really well. You got to give him credit.
4-0 Southeastern out in front. The game is for free over at UrbanEdgeNetwork.net. UrbanEdgeNetwork.net.
Robbie, I hate to go ahead. I hate to get off topic here.
Yeah, please.
I hate to get off topic here, but as you guys have probably seen my Adrian Dinkle shirt on Twitter that I posted during the selection show, yes. I think I need to make a Bobby Garza shirt with this hat on right now. That might have to be your guys' practice shirts next year. Product placement right there.
I'm not super enthused with the Texas Wesleyan propaganda, but we'll allow it. We don't really have a choice right now. 2 on.
No.
After a hit by pitch there. G, you got a comment on your Texas Wesleyan propaganda going on?
Hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. We're having a good time, right? There's lots of great baseball in Fort Worth with TCU, with Texas Wesleyan, but there's the heart of Fort Worth goes through one school.
Unbelievable. It sure does, G. It sure does. It was a walk to Montz there, so we'll see what happens here with Swenda up at the plate. I mean, Miranda's not missing by much, Taylor. He's right around the zone.
No, you're right, and got down in the count earlier on to that last batter, but we saw Anthony Swenda deliver a home run to opposite field yesterday. Big time moment here for the Pilots. If you get a big swing right here, you're right back in this ball game, and things kind of settle in, if you will. But a big moment nonetheless. Already some big spots for both of these lineups as we sit in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, mound visit happening right now. It's a 3-1 count. You can watch this game along with us on the Urban Edge Network if you're looking for the game. If you want to get our commentary, if you got questions for the NAIA ball group, you got questions for Coach Garza, you want to be recruited by Texas Wesleyan, you want free Texas Wesleyan gear. I hear he's just handing it out. He's got unlimited budget, is what I hear. So, I mean.
I wish. It looks like the Fire's got some action moving in the bullpen, and I wonder how many rally hats of this style are being put on right now. Let's see what happens here. First and second, nobody out.
First and second, nobody out, and it will actually be bases loaded, nobody out. LSU Shreveport has the bases loaded, nobody out. Agnell Miranda, in his second inning of work, has hit a batter and allowed 2 straight walks in this game. And now Jose Salarin comes up to the plate. Taylor, I feel like we've seen Salarin in a lot of big spots. Not a huge power hitter, but a guy who can drive the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, especially near the bottom of the lineup too. He's already had a couple big games this tournament. Had a 3 RBI performance a few games back as well, but has put together some really good swings. Been able to drive runners in when they've needed it, and another big spot here for the shortstop.
a massive spot, a 1-0 count here to Salerins. We're going to be paying a lot of attention here to this at bat, but the base is loaded. G, you're a guy who does a lot of hitting, and I know you got a big leaguer on your staff, but through your time, you've coached a lot of hitting, and you've coached a lot of third base. What are you trying to get this guy in the box to do with the bases loaded in this moment?
Yeah. Well, here we go. We got some action.
Yeah, ground ball up the middle, and that's going to get through. So it is going to be a 4-2 game just like that. That one just sneaks through the infield right down the middle there. I mean, you can't argue with that. That's gonna be probably part of exactly what you want.
Yeah, most definitely. In that situation, the bases loaded, nobody out. As a hitting coach or planning your approach at the plate, it's okay to go down 0-1. It's okay to go 1-1 or 2-2, because all the pressure's on the pitcher, and you just got to focus on getting a good pitch to hit, and that's what Jose did. And hey, rally hats.
I see Luis Palau in here asking what the score was. It's 4-2. SEU leads Shreveport right now, but 2 on. Diego Aragon at the plate, could see him drop one down, and that's exactly what he'll do. He'll square around, drop a bunt down, a good bunt. Going to be a tough play for the third baseman. He's going to be out, but now 2 into scoring position. And, G, I've got even better news. Yainer Diaz just walked it off in Houston. You're on mute, man. You're on mute. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a great day. It's a great day. It's a great day. We got lots of baseball going on. College World Series, NAIA World Series. Such a great day. Astros get a W. And there's a special guest here. I'm trying to come on over here. We got a special guest in town.
Oh,
here.
Cincinnati.
There she is. Stud catcher right here for the Ellis County Smash. Stud catcher, left-handed bat. Yep, left-handed bat.
There you go.
Put it on, kid.
That's awesome. That is awesome. We've got a review going on, and that's a bang play. I think they likely the call here at first base will stand. Taylor and Connor, if we're not already, and Connor, I know you're doing a lot. You're trying to produce the broadcast. I just want to make sure we're at least giving score updates as they happen. So if you guys have to give score updates as they happen, just go ahead and mute yourself, and I know not to go to you. So
I got a question for you guys.
Fire away.
Yeah, what's been the most memorable experience that you guys have had this year? What's something that was really cool?
I guess I'll start. For me, it's probably I got to call a baseball game for the first time in almost 5 years. I was working in Corpus Christi one weekend, and Houston. I was going to go out to Victoria and watch UHV take on CMU and MACU play each other in Victoria, Texas, in a neutral site contest. They needed somebody to call the game. I was going to be there anyway, so I went out there and called the game, and it was a lot of fun, and we had an absolute blast doing that. And so for me, that was going to be the biggest one of the year, because I mean, the nearest 2 ball clubs to me, and G, you know this, I mean, I would be in Fort Worth if I was closer all the time without any Texas Wesleyan propaganda. But I think that it would have been that, because the closest ball clubs to me are like 250 miles away. So Taylor, I don't know what your experience would be there.
Honestly, I have to. I think I said this last year too, which is a little more fresh considering
I'm gonna
last.
Stop you really quickly. I'm sorry. You're gonna hear me interject and cut in all night. But there is a wild pitch, pass ball. We'll see how they score it. I'm waiting for the scoring. It's going to be called a wild pitch, and it's now 4-3, and the tying run with one out is on third base. So, Taylor, I will let you continue before I've got Tyler's note here as well.
Yeah, for me, I think it's just maybe it's because I'm still getting used to it also, because we don't like to praise ourselves here. But just talking with some of these players' parents down at the Cajun, when we're around the field, obviously that's kind of who's around us. So getting that recognition too, and just kind of being able to take a step back and realize, how much reach our brand has had, which is obviously a testament to Cody founding it back in 2017, along with the work you guys have done, Robbie, before myself and Tyler were jumped on board last year. It's been really cool to see, and especially with the story that Shreveport has had this year, getting all the national recognition. It's nice to see NAIA ball on the national map even more.
Connor, before we go to you, I want to get to Tyler's. His two favorite moments were when he got to go to the opening round in Upland, watching how well Concordia and Arbor played in their final year after interviewing Coach Johnston. A walk is going to put runners on the corners as Ryan Davenport, the leadoff hitter for the Pilots, the bottom of the order for the Pilots, getting the job done, scoring, helping score 3 runs here. Ryan Davenport, leadoff hitter, coming back around to the bottom half of the second inning. Runners on first and third there, and a pitching could be a pitching change here for Southeastern. We'll keep an eye on that. And while we got an opportunity, Connor, what was your favorite moment of the year?
Yeah, that's tough. 2 of them kind of stick to me. Getting to hop on the Shreveport broadcast now at the Cajun when they were playing USAO, and then obviously watching my USAO Drovers win the SAC championship in the tournament. So those were two pretty cool experiences. Getting to go to the opening round was fun. So I'd say is between those 3, but getting to be on a broadcast is pretty cool. I don't get to do that often.
We do have a new pitcher for Southeastern. We're going to work to get you the stats right now, and we'll also work to get Connor back on camera here. He can't go anywhere because he's got. All right, Connor, from the airport Hilton in where is he? Colorado Springs, Colorado. So Connor's on vacation and producing this broadcast for us. So we're super thankful to him for that. We've got a new pitcher entering the game for Southeastern, and it is going to be Hansen entering the game for the Fire. Andrew Hansen, 27 innings pitched, a 4 ERA, a 3-1 record, making his 20th appearance of the year. He's got 1 save, has allowed 27 hits, 12 earned runs, 16 walks, 29 strikeouts, a 9.67 K per 9, and a whip of 1.59 on the year for him. So Andrew Hansen enters the game here and going to try. Is this Connor's guy? Is this the delivery?
I think you might be
right. I believe this is his sidearm brethren. I think. I don't know. That looked like a funky delivery. I didn't get to see him warm up, but it looked like a funky first pitch delivery here. And Josh Gibson's the first batter that he will face. So a big opportunity here. No, he comes about 3/4. Sorry, Connor. So he comes about 3/4 there. But Gibson up at the plate.
Hey, how about an NAIA poll, right? We've since switching hats to the Cowboy hat, the Pilots have put up 3 runs, got a guy in scoring position, and by the way, speaking of product placement, special thank you to Devin Markham at Hatco for gifting the Resistol George Strait to me. Really appreciate that. But is a Cowboy hat going to be the new rally dugout rally cry specialty, whatever you call it, in 2026.
Could be. Maybe next year instead of wearing actual baseball caps, y'all just wear cowboy hats out there on the field, and that
Hey,
that could be a thing for y'all.
for the people that know about Coach Shopik and myself and Texas Wesleyan, we do some crazy things on a baseball field, so don't be surprised if something happens.
Would
Right.
be
I mean, I even got ejected. We took two coaches went out to do we had two coaches do a mound visit, and one of them went back ejected. So we do some crazy things.
Can you do that?
You can. There's not a rule against it. Yeah. Yeah, there's not a rule against it, and we most definitely went out there. And of course the umpire didn't want to hear any of it, but if he was wrong.
Fantastic. If you got more questions for Coach Garza on some of the tactics that they are deploying there, you're more than welcome to really dig into that and ask about it. We have now 2 outs in the inning as Gibson will strike out, but Davenport swipes second base. So still 2 in scoring position and 2 outs here in the inning for LSU Shreveport, as that ball actually got by the shortstop, trickled into short center, but the backup there, and Gibson out on strikes. He can't believe that was called a strike. I'm sure we won't give any thoughts on umpiring. Everybody in here really loves umpires and thinks they're fantastic.
I'll give some thoughts on umpires. No, I won't. I
Yeah,
actually won't. I won't. I won't.
There's some people I've been really close to in my my NAI time, and they are not big umpiring people.
Speaking of umpires, I would like to say Coach Garza did have the ejection of the tournament down at the Cajun a couple years ago.
What a catch here by the catcher for SEU, an absolute highlight of a play to get them out of the inning. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. So we are headed to the top of the 3rd. It is 4-3 Southeastern ahead of LSU Shreveport in the top half of the 3rd. Tyler Norris says, Connor, you should have military grade internet there in Colorado Springs. I believe with the Air Force Academy is what he's alluding to, but I believe you're connected to the McDonald's Walmart Wi-Fi right now.
We are working solely off the strong USAO hotspot that I was lended a couple years ago and haven't given back. So thank you, USAO. The NAI ball stream runs on USAO internet.
The NAI ball stream is a product of USAO internet. We thank USAO for the internet, and we will plead with Mike to allow us to keep that keep that there. So top of the 3rd inning. You want to tell the folks about that ejection a couple years ago at the Cajun?
I don't know what was more impressive, that ejection or the one that we had this last past year whenever the umpire said we couldn't take two coaches out to a mound visit. And um, I'll just say this. No, I won't say it.
No.
I'm gonna stay silent on umpires. I will say this. I'll tell you what, the game of baseball brings a lot of people together, and when you've got good umpires that really want to work hard, not only for their craft, but for the game of baseball, and they understand that we are all human beings, we're all people, and when you get those type of umpires, it makes the game fun, and creating relationships with some of these umpires has been a blast. 18 years coaching NAI and 20 years total at the collegiate level. There's been some really good people that we've been able to meet and come across, and so I'm very thankful for all the work that they do put in.
Robbie, it looks like we got a new pitch. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
We got a new pitcher.
So Stevens will take the mound for Shreveport. We'll get you some lines on him as soon as possible here. But Stevens is the new pitcher, and right off the bat here, he will face a really good hitter in Alfonso Villalobos. who's going to smack a single into right and get the inning going there. So Villalobos singles to right, and the leadoff hitter is on for Southeastern there in inning number 3. Top of the third, we're about an hour in, guys. This game has had a lot of base runners. We're already on our second pitching change of the game, and a lot of back and forth. But Camden Stevens enters the game. He's a junior. He has thrown just 7 1/3 innings this year for the Pilots, and entering in one of the biggest moments of the year as they try to grab a national championship.
Robbie, real quick, looks like they got the stats wrong because that is definitely Draven Ziegler, the Pilots' number 2 starter on
Is
the
it?
mound. Yes,
I'm an
absolutely.
idiot. I'm looking at the stats and not at the broadcast, and I just looked at the broadcast, and you're right. That is 1,000% Draven Ziegler. You can tell by the pitching motion there. Draven Ziegler has entered the game in the 3rd inning to try to shut this down, gives up a leadoff single. So 100% the stats are wrong. Now they're going back and correcting that on the stats as Draven Ziegler enters. This is who we thought was going to start the game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, one of the best arms in the entire country, top 5 in ERA. This entire staff, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and their starting pitching has over 100 strikeouts. Kobe Reeves coming in at 102 there, and had 9 in his last start. But Ziegler's been, dynamic all year long. One of the best arms in the nation. We saw him at the Cajun. I mean, he was 95, 96 all night with that slider. And it's looking like it's on the night despite giving up that leadoff single. So going to the big gun right now. This is a big, big moment here in the top of the third. If he's able to work quick, obviously for both of these teams, you don't want to go to tomorrow, Southeastern especially. But Ziegler on the mound now on the big stage. Let's see how he can work around this leadoff hitter.
Work quick is an understatement, Taylor. He gets a 6-4-3 double play and crushes that inning. Draven Ziegler enters the game, 85 innings pitched. Now make that 86 with a 1.48 ERA, making his 17th appearance of the year. First time this season he has not started a game. He's 13-0 on the season. He's allowed just 55 hits, 14 earned runs. He's walked 22 and struck out 105 and has a whip below 1. I thought it did not make sense why a guy that had not thrown 8 innings was into the game. Draven Ziegler comes in and gets Castillo to ground into a double play. Abso-freaking-lutely massive there for LSU Shreveport. Momentum feels like it has shifted a little bit in this game, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You get the momentum swing there on that big time double play, and we know how Ziegler has been of me, Connor, and Tyler obviously seeing one of his starts live. Garza obviously know what he's capable of, and you just listed off the stats there too, Robbie. And this Pilot team, they can really turn your lights out in a hurry. So just being a 1-run ball game too was huge. Going back to their last inning on offense, they were able to put up that 3 spot, and that's massive. Now it's a 1-run ball game. You have one of your best arms on the mound. Momentum's definitely swung over, especially after that big time 6-4-3 double play that was induced by Ziegler on the mound.
Yeah, we talk about their pitching, right? Is outstanding, and obviously their offense is very pound for pound, but their defense is a big reason why they've been able to do so well this year. Those 3 guys on the infield, they're just special. They're special defenders, and that's one thing that I know Brad really preaches. So, and that's another thing that's been really well for the Fire years in the past is their ability to turn to the double play. And if the leadoff guy gets on, it's no big deal. Here's a 2-seamer down and in, and they create a double play. So, definitely 2 historically really good teams on the defensive side here.
Definitely. These are 2 really great programs, and one of the things that I want to do this summer is look at who the blue bloods of this level have been. Since the format change, so since 2009, and that would be a fun off-season exercise for us to really go over and dig into. Vantrell Reed is going to smack that one foul, so nothing doing there. Want to give a quick shout out. I know Peyton Robertson had messaged me earlier, and gee, this is what you want to hear, like as a head coach, where you have a bunch of dudes getting together and watching the game together. When their program's playing for a national title.
Yeah, most definitely. Rich tradition in Shreveport, going all the way back to Rocky as their head coach, and then LaValle. Rich history of a solid baseball program. No surprise, no surprise. And yeah, Peyton Robinson, great ball player, could do it all, could definitely do it all.
Reed will line out here. So there's the first out in the bottom of the third as Hanson stays on the mound for Southeastern. Taylor, I mean, if you could choose a couple of teams who would be in your blue blood list, I mean, just give me two or three squads that off the top of your head, since 2009 would probably be up there for you.
Yeah, I think obviously the one that everyone nationally knows is the home team, or the team that plays their home games here in Harris Field at LC State. But other than that, Tennessee Wesleyan, obviously Southeastern, especially in the last 5 to 7 years that they've had, has just been incredible. And I saw it on Twitter a few days back, but I believe it was winning percentage within the last 10 years at the NAIA level. And you had obviously Shreveport, Southeastern, Tennessee Wesleyan, Georgia Gwinnett too, and the run that Sheedinger has had since he's taken over, and that program only starting in 2013. And it's no secret as to why, because those are teams that I just listed off that you see in the World Series field year in and year out.
Yeah, most definitely. Searing is going to single here and get himself on base. So a runner on with one out here for Montz in this game in the bottom half of the third. We've had quite a few runners on base in this one. And it'll be interesting to see what the Fire do after Hanson, how long they leave Hanson out there. And again, yeah, I definitely agree with your picks of as far as who you would have as some of those blue bloods. I definitely think that LC, last couple of years they've not been what they had. Well, what people expected them, especially there in the LC Valley. But I mean, in the mid 2000s, they dominated the sport. And then on top of that, you have, teams who have won multiple national championships. Southeastern, definitely. Tennessee Wesleyan, Georgia Gwinnett is constantly there. You'd have to talk about what do you do with Faulkner in that situation as well. So, it'd be really, really cool, fun exercise for us to do in the off season as we continue on with our coverage. A couple of new awards that we're going to talk about this year, Connor. A couple of new awards on our side. We've got the Cody Butler Award, which is more of a social media based award to honor our founder in Cody Butler and everything that he did for us as creating an AI ball, starting an AI ball, founding an AI ball, and doing that, and really just playing a huge part in that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great addition to our awards this year. I know we posted it. Oh,
Yep, I still hear you. Yeah, we'll talk about it as we get closer to the end of the game. We'll talk a little bit more about it. Right now, the scenario is this: in the bottom of the third, there are 2 runners on, runners at second and third, and 1 out. They advanced after Montz walked. They were advanced on a balk. So Swenda now up at the plate. Swenda does not have an official at bat today, so we are waiting to see what happened there on that end. And we will keep you updated in every portion of this ball game as it goes on. So right now, I've got a 2-ball and no strike count to Swenda in this one. Shreveport trails Southeastern 4-3. We're in the bottom of the third, and it's been a really, really good ball game so far to watch here. So a lot going on.
Yeah, keep that going, Rob. I don't know about you
Yeah,
guys, but I'm down. I can't
yeah,
watch.
no, we definitely will continue to give updates as we go along here, and as we continue to watch and continue to keep an eye on things. I've got a 3-1 count here to Swenda. So runners at second and third now, 3-1 count, 1 out in the inning. And the batter here is Anthony Swenda for LSU Shreveport, as they are trying to climb back into this game. They were down 4-0. They scored 3 runs at the bottom half of the second. And, I've just started to climb back. I mean, you've seen this team a ton of times. They just do not go away.
No, they don't go away. They're not going to go away. Now there's a fire. I mean, it's again, this is it, man. This is all, this is what you play for. This is all the work that's put in the fall, into the spring. So what a great game so far. And let's keep this thing going. Let's see some more fireworks.
Yeah, no, definitely looking forward to that, and we definitely will keep an eye on things, and as we're just waiting on an update here, and there are going to be 2 outs. Swenda strikes out swinging, 2 outs and 2 on.
I'm almost at
So we will keep you updated with that. So Hanson trying to get out of this. Taylor, I mean, a lot going on here in this game, as Salarin's going to be hit by pitch, and now you got the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, big time. For both teams, really, just free passes, a couple hit by pitches for Shreveport early on from Brock Lucas, and then another one here with Jose Salarin, like you just mentioned. So both teams needing to settle into this ball game, especially on the mound now, into the bullpen for both. Shreveport having Ziegler on the mound definitely helps, but with Hanson on the mound now, a big time moment here in the bottom of the third. And as you guys just talked about, this Shreveport lineup never goes away, and they have a huge opportunity here for their captain and Diego Aragon, the catcher.
Bases loaded, 2 out, another huge situation. I feel like Southeastern, for lack of a better term, has been playing with fire in this one. Last inning, they were able to get out of it. An incredible play by the catcher gets them out on an infield pop-up. Diego Aragon at the plate. Last at bat, he dropped down a sacrifice bunt. It was a bang play. I don't think we see some type of suicide squeeze in this situation.
I'd be shocked to see it as well, especially like we talked about earlier on in the World Series. Aragon has been swinging a really hot bat, coming off a 3 RBI night. I definitely think you trust him here, especially with the bases loaded. As I've got a 2-1 count here too, so hitters count now, and every single pitch you're kind of living and dying on it. Every single pitch matters right now, especially with the bases loaded situation. If you're able to tie this game back up right here in the bottom of the third, I mean, the momentum's definitely switching over to that Shreveport dugout if Aragon can come through.
Most definitely. So, yeah, you're right. 2-1 count, 4-3 is the score. Southeastern leads. in this game. So we are keeping an eye on everything happening for you here in this one. We will update you as things go along. Now a 3-1 count, nowhere to put him here. I mean, a huge pitch for Hansen coming up.
Yeah, absolutely, and I definitely don't want to groove one here, but you can. You definitely don't want to walk in that run either. A lot of opportunities so far for both lineups, and yeah, with a 2 outs, bottom of the third, and looks like we've got a walk as I say it. So tie ball game now. Aragon draws a walk on a 3-1 count. It is now 4-4 in the bottom of the third, and just like that, you're back to the top of the lineup, and Ryan Davenport looking to do some more damage.
Definitely top of the lineup here. 4-4 game now. We are all square at 4 apiece in this ball game. Wow. So,
Hey,
yeah,
rally hat, cowboy rally hats, they work.
the rally hats are going. G's been working that rally hat all game long in this one. So a 4-4 ball game. Husband comes in to pinch run, and I can't imagine. He had some family issues that he had to go take care of, and he came back and rallied for this team. As now McDonald is going to enter the game. So a pitching change here in this game. A pitching change as Southeastern will head to the pen. I believe that there are some of y'all, and I don't have it up because I've got the game on my phone. But the game on my phone is going. I know that there are some people who have said that they had some issues, but I don't know if y'all can see this, but I have it. I have it up on my phone. So the NAI network and same with Urban Edge Network, have this game. We've got it or at least I've got it on my phone right now in this one. So just something to keep in mind, because I know that I believe there was a question in the chat on the game and what was going on in that. So we do have that going right now. So McDonald is going to enter the game. That is Bryce McDonald, who has 67 and a third innings pitched, a 6.55 ERA. Taylor, this is a guy we just saw also a couple of days ago.
I was gonna say too, one of their other arms outside of Robertson and Wissinger, with a lot of innings already this season. He's got some strikeout stuff too, but either way, you got to come in here and you got to pound the zone as you're coming off. You're coming off a walk that ended the day there for Hansen, and still with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and as we just said, top of the lineup with Ryan Davenport. You do not want to give guys right behind him, especially a guy like Josh Gibson, a chance with the bases loaded. As these two guys have lead the team in average coming in. At one point, they were in the 440s about 3/4 of the way through the regular season too. So especially a big time moment for both this pilot lineup to hopefully take a lead here with a big opportunity. But for the Fire too, if you get a punch out here and get this guy out of the inning, you're back in the dugout, and this game's back at 0-0 already. So a huge moment for Bryce McDonald.
Top of the order game is on Urban Edge Network. Everything is working for us here. We've got the game going on right now. Richard Perez says that there was an ejection. We don't have sound on, so for legal reasons, we can't have the sound on. For a something like this when we're on YouTube, in case music comes through, copyright issues, things like that. So if there was an ejection, you want to text me, you want to message us, please let us know. If that happened, 100%, we'd be interested in hearing about that. But a 4-4 ball game, 2 out. Bryce McDonald enters the game here in the bottom of the third. He's going to be the third pitcher of the night, and he's got Davenport 0-2 to start things out.
Yeah, coming in, pounding the zone, like we said. Now looking like a 1-2 count too. But really, really big moment for both teams here. And if there was an ejection, I'm glad that they are honoring Coach Garza all the way in Lewiston with that tonight.
That's fantastic.
He's fired up. He's fired up.
Yeah, let's see if he goes back to the changeup right here that he got a swing and miss from, or if he goes to the fastball down the zone. That's got to be the pitch right here, one of those two. Changeup.
I do have I've got a question that is specifically for you, from my former roommate in Pat Barrington wants to know. My former roommate in Florida, Pat Barrington, wants to know if you are more of a line dancer or a mysterious cowboy sitting at the end of the bar. And if I cut in, it's because we have an update on the game. And right now, full count, big pitch coming. So I'll let you answer that after this big pitch. It is 4-4 in the bottom of the third, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Bryce McDonald enters. He had Ryan Davenport 0-2. Now full count. Here's the pitch. Down. Ball 4. Pilots take the lead. Wow. 5-4. LSU Shreveport takes the lead. Josh Gibson should be the batter now for Shreveport here in this one. Bases loaded, 2 out, 5-4. LSUS out in front. G, you want to answer that question now? Are you a line dancer or mysterious? He's from Florida, so he wouldn't know. We don't do a lot of line dancing out here.
Yeah, I'm neither. I'm a Texas two-step guy.
There you go.
Going out to good old Fort Worth, right? Home of the Texas Wesleyan Rams. Yeah, Cowboys. We're heading out to Cowboys go out to Billy Bob's and we'll go two-stepping.
Oh, what I would do for another night at Cowboys Arlington. What a place that was. Fly out to center field, and that will end the inning. So we head to the top of the fourth. It's 5-4. The game on the Urban Edge Network is available to you for free. We've got the game going on multiple screens here at home, as do everybody else out there. So 5-4 is the score in that one. Taylor, Connor, we're getting close to the 10 o'clock hour. We're in the fourth inning of this game. I definitely think we'll be seeing more pitching changes in this one.
Yeah, 100%. And as Connor's favorite term, we are definitely going to get a special edition of NAIA Ball After Dark National Championship edition. But big time inning right there by LSU Shreveport. Still a big time way to get out of it too for McDonald after issuing that walk to surrender the lead. You get a hitter like Josh Gibson to fly out early in the count. That's still big. It's a 1-run ball game. And like we said, we've seen this Fire lineup already deliver a 4-spot. 2 crooked numbers there in the first 2 innings. And as they've done all tournament long, just applied pressure to the opposing pitching staff. Going to be a tough task against Draven Ziegler now with a lead, but still a 1-run ball game. That's huge bounce back by Bryce McDonald.
Urban Edge Network, NAIA Network, they have the game for free, all courtesy of the Urban Edge Network. So that is something that you can check out right now. We've got the game on, and I've got it on the iPad. I've got it on the phone. We're at the top of the fourth. We're glad you can join us for this watch along as we react to the national championship game. Draven Ziegler back out on the mound looking for his first full inning of work here in the top half of the fourth. And again, Taylor, like we said, this is the guy that we thought would game for LSU Shreveport.
Yeah, and as we saw him come in last inning, make real quick work of that lineup, you get a guy like that a lead. We talked about it, the pressure that the Shreveport lineup continuously applies to every single arm, now Southeastern on their third pitcher, but just like that, a rough start, not the start that we've seen this team really have all year long, but just like that, they already got a lead back, and they got one of their horses on the mound. So this thing's shaping up to be a really, really good ball game, as it has been already. Did not expect a high scoring affair, especially this early on, but right now, despite that real shaky start, Shreveport is in a really good spot with Ziegler on the mound.
I think it's time for a Southeastern Fire rally hat. We got the gray. We got the road grays. Right? Come on now.
I need you to find a Tex West helmet decal. Just slap it right there in the middle.
Hey, well, there's a will, there's a way. I'm sure we can find one and make it happen.
So after 5 straight balls here, a mound visit for Ziegler is going to happen. And it looks like Brad himself is going out there to lead this conversation. So a lot going on there. As just an animated conversation there. I actually don't think that was that Brad? I couldn't tell out there.
Yeah, that's Brad. That's Brad.
Okay. There's a lot of sun out there in Lewiston today.
I don't think after issuing a walk, especially when your team gives you a lead, I don't imagine that Draven Ziegler wants to see an angry Brad Neffendorf make that trek to the mound. But he's got to lock back in here, obviously, like we just talked about. Bryce McDonald did a really good job after issuing that walk to give up the lead, to get a really good hitter out like Gibson and keep this at a 1-run ball game. So keeps the Fire one swing away from taking a lead here in the middle of their lineup.
Being in Central Time, how do y'all work these games with? I know that with the pitch clock, things have been moving a little bit quicker. But I mean, we still have seen a lot of games go late into the night. I mean, we were on live last night till about 12:30 last night. So we were on really, really late, as this is going to be back-to-back walks to start the inning. So here comes Southeastern. But what are some of the things that Taylor, especially you, what are some of the things you've done? Garza's got the rally hat for SCU now. Taylor, what have you done to keep yourself awake during some of these games? Because, I mean, these games being on the West Coast, Central Time Zone, especially those in the Eastern Time Zone, like in Lakeland, I mean, this is late for them. They're approaching the 11 o'clock hour.
Well, I don't have a special rally hat like Coach Garza there. I wouldn't say it's energy drinks either. It's honestly the fact that I'm a pure sicko, and I would watch Hawaii baseball play Long Beach State in the middle of February at 3:30 a.m. So this is nothing new for me, especially being an NAIA guy like we all are. This is the best time of year, as we've talked about. You got everything on postseason action, especially the national championship with the storylines like this. I wouldn't miss this even if I wasn't working for NAIA ball.
It is kind of a weird feeling. We've been doing this full bore since mid-January, and you realize that at the most, we have just 2 games left in the season. At the most, that is it. And here we go. We've got a sacrifice put out. It is going to be the first out of the inning, and then a wild pitch is going to tie the game. We're all square at 5 apiece. 5-5 in the top of the 4th. This national championship game has delivered.
It seems like
Yeah,
that
if
hat's
anybody
working.
out there wants, go ahead, Connor.
It seems like that hat you got on's working for the Fire right now.
Yeah. If anybody out there needs help getting an official Rally Cowboy hat, reach out to me. You can find my information online, and I can point you in the right direction. But I'll tell you what, I know we're having fun about the Cowboy hats, but there's a good chance that this game's going to go into 12 to 13 runs, and it's going to be whoever makes the least amount of mistakes in the last 2 innings.
And now in this one, Piniella is going to single, and Southeastern retakes the lead by a score of 6-5. It's their 6th hit of the game. The offense has been clicking. The crazy thing for Shreveport is they've got 5 runs on 2 hits, have left 6 on base. Southeastern's only left 2 on base, and they have capitalized on those opportunities and those 6 hits that they have had. Right now, with runners in scoring position, they are 3 for 7. That's a 429 batting average, and they're 2 for 4 with 2 outs in this game. So a 500 batting average there. I mean, they're getting the job done and finding ways with runners in scoring position to bring those runs in.
Also, Robbie, we do have a score bug now. It might be a little bit ahead of what we're talking about, but it is there on the screen now. So just heads up.
Awesome. I will definitely check that out. So there you go. Awesome. We do have a score bug that is ahead because I know we did see quite a few people have questions on the score. So we are keeping up with that. You can keep up with us on that. Draven Ziegler has struggled here, Taylor, a little bit. He's given, it's not been a great inning for him. He had back-to-back walks, got an out, a wild pitch, scores a run, then gives up a single, and now working back to a full count.
Yeah, absolutely. And, just going back to what I said earlier, to keep that inning at a 1-run inning for Bryce McDonald after issuing that walk was massive, because just like that, your lineup comes through for you as it has all tournament long. And now you got a 6-5 lead. You're really making one of the best arms in the country really, really work for every single out right here. Another big moment, too. Like I said, middle of the lineup, Charlie Collins has already had a triple tonight that's drove in 2 runs. A real big opportunity for Southeastern. And as we've seen with the Shreveport lineup, they're never out of it. So you definitely want to add as many runs as possible in a situation like this.
And that's going to be a strike them out, throw them out in to end that inning. So a massive strike them out, throw them out to end that inning. A huge turn of events there as it looks like the runner slid past the bag, and getting back and tagging him was Vantrell Reed in making sure he tagged him out there. And so he got him. So that will end the top half of the 4th. 6-5 is the score as Austin Gom will lead us off here in the bottom half of the 4th inning for Shreveport, trailing once again in this game. It has been back and forth in this one. Collins, though, that's the first time they've got him out today in 4 innings.
Yeah, and how about the defense, too? Garza talked about it earlier, and I want to reiterate it, because watching Jose Salarin and Vantrell Reed up the middle, even Josh Gibson at third, but up the middle, man, it's one of the best fielding infielders that I've seen in quite some time, and it makes me feel better, a guy like Garza, with the experience he's had at the NAIA level, because is in agreement, because right there, too, and you talk about it, 2 seniors, Vantrell Reed making that tag, but Diego Aragon behind the plate has really been a force and a calming presence back there. He's caught almost, I believe, every game, too, in a big time defensive play. Just like we talked about with Bryce McDonald, keeping it a 1-run game, the Pilot defense steps up when you needed it, and it's still a 1-run ball game after momentum could have really swung in the opposite direction.
Yeah, those 2 guys are great up the middle, and Jose's probably one of the top 5 amateur non-Division I shortstops I've seen in my coaching career. He's up there. He's a defensive wizard with the glove, and Reed's made some over the last few years, made some great plays against us. So that's a great combo, double play combo up the middle. Great play right there by Reed, staying with it. And speaking of umpires, that umpire was dialed in. Good for him.
Great call. Yeah, great call.
Yeah, he was locked into that call there. One of the things, and again, if you have questions for us, anything like that, we are more than happy to take a look at your questions. We've got a score bug now up there for those of you who are wondering about the score, and definitely something that we're definitely taking questions tonight. I know when we have spaces and things like that, we typically do not take questions. So we're giving you an opportunity right now to talk with us and to really be part of the broadcast and just go over what we're talking about. I mean, baseball is such a hard sport to win at. It's something that it's unpredictable. I mean, we see so much of it. I mean, look at the Division I level today. It's been all over the friggin' place with games. You got Columbia leading Southern Miss, who's a top 16 national seed in the 9th inning. There's been all sorts of games today that have kind of surprised the nation as far as what is going on, as Gom grounds out to third base, but then Vantrell Reed is going to single. And we could have something here. So, he's going to be safe. He singles on the infield there, so runner on. But how hard is, just winning in baseball because it's so unpredictable? Almost a beautiful play. Oh, man, that's going to be a close play, actually, now that I look at it. Slowing down on the replay here, and that view is going to be blocked by the first base coach for Shreveport. But they're going to play on. No call over at first base. And now Searing is hit by pitch. 2 on and 1 out. As we're finally getting a better look at it here, he looks like he was off the bag there. So it is going to go down as a hit, and nothing doing there. But how hard is it to win at the collegiate level and just baseball in general?
Yeah, it's extremely hard. Really, really a team just needs one guy, somebody on the mound that's dialed in, or that has the ability on that particular day to locate the pitch, his fastball in and out, and throw an off-speed pitch for a strike. And typically that's not the case, but sometimes you got one pitcher up there that's 88, 90 miles per hour that can pinpoint it on any given day, and he may just need one run to beat you. So again, it's so impressive, not just what Brad and his staff have done at Shreveport, but what a lot of these teams, Southeastern, Tennessee Westland, Georgia Gwinnett, even what Jeremy Kennedy's done at Loyola, this consistent winning, it's very impressive to see those guys continually be successful.
Montz comes back up to the plate here with 1 out, 2 on, runner in scoring position. Southeastern has given Shreveport a lot of free bases, Taylor.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't want to give a lineup like Shreveport free opportunities, especially same goes for the Shreveport pitching staff early on. They were given the Fire free opportunities, and they cashed in. Really a high scoring ball game. Both teams doesn't seem like they've settled in quite to their liking, as Shreveport already threatening here, runners on the corners now with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. And a guy with a big World Series so far, Ian Montz, looking to deliver. We've had a lot of lead changes already. This has been a great national championship to watch, as we aren't even through 4 innings complete. But a big moment here for Ian Montz. And as I said earlier, when they had this spot in the lineup up, getting it to the top of the lineup with runners on and the chance to do damage is really, really important.
Almost caught the runner at first base out in no man's land as that ball kicked over to the first base side, but nothing doing there for Southeastern. And on a 3-0 count, that's going to be ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Swenda, who struck out last time with almost the exact same situation in the last inning. He will come up now with the bases loaded, facing McDonald here in the bottom of the 4th, trailing by a run. LSU Shreveport looking to tie this game. Really big situation here at the plate.
Yeah, absolutely. Swenda has had some good at-bats already in this World Series, but big moment here as Montz drew that walk. But bases loaded, 1 out. You're still at the bottom of the lineup, but a guy that can do a lot of damage like Anthony Swenda, and then Jose Salomon right behind him too. Looking for a huge double play here if you're Southeastern, but already some big moments. This is exactly what you want in a national championship. You're really living and dying on each pitch, especially early on with both pitching staffs. Haven't seemed to settle into the game just yet, but got to give credit where credit's due to both of these lineups. They have really put pressure on them and kind of been to their identity so far in this game.
Yeah, I've got a 1-1 count currently. If you're watching the stream, he just swung and got a called swing from the umpire there. So this next pitch is going to be ball number 1, just missing outside of the zone. Those Southeastern time called again. Something happened here. And a pitch, this time I can tell, pitch timer violation in that one. So a pitch timer violation there is going to be ball number 1. So the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike there after that pitch timer violation.
Yeah, he's looking to get something elevated in the zone here, right? That's his only focus, is to get the ball in the air, staying out of a double play. Let's see what he does. That was a good take on a pitch down in the zone. As a hitter, you're really trying to get the bottom half of the ball right here, trying to work underneath. So if you do commit to a pitch down, your body definitely has to adjust to get underneath to get the ball to the outfield and something deep to score a run.
Yeah, big opportunity here for Swenda. Struck out in his last opportunity with the bases loaded. It's going to be 3-1 now. 3 balls and a strike. McDonald has to really lock back into this situation here. Big moment. 3-1 count. See what happens with Swenda at the dish. Called strike. He was getting ready to put the bat down and head on to first base.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a called take, right? You go 3-1, you make him throw a strike, so you don't expand the zone. He goes to 3-2. You're in the same situation that you're in now, putting more pressure on the pitcher on a 3-2 count.
Payoff pitch here from McDonald. We'll wait on it. Fouled off.
Yeah, if you're McDonald, you're trying to throw that 2-seam down and in to get the ground ball, or if you really have confidence in your changeup, you want to throw that sucker down and possibly get a swing and miss or a ball beaten to the ground here.
Full count, bottom of the 4th. Swenda struck out last time, trying to change it this time. Big pitch from Miranda. Got him. Fastball. Huge out there for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up, once again, Jose Salarin.
Yeah, bases juiced right now. Salarin with another opportunity. We've seen him come up in some big spots already. Obviously, we talked about the glove too, but the bat really kind of is a little overshadowed just with how good he is defensively. But a really, really good hitter at the bottom of this lineup. Obviously, with both teams to this point, you're not going to get there with just 4 good hitters, especially at the top of your lineup. It's a 1 through 9 effort, and we've already seen both times bottom of the lineup with some big opportunities. None bigger right here as Shreveport looks to at least tie this game up.
And I just got that notification. Tim Brando, who is a legend, national sports commentator for Fox and just absolutely massive titan of sports. Tim Brando is now following us on X and has also quoted our post. So that is absolutely huge.
Robbie, you want to go ahead and read that? You want to go ahead and read that quoted tweet?
Let me give the update here first. It is going to be a chopper and a 5U put out, so the inning will end. And at the end of 4, our score is 6-5. Southeastern leads LSU Shreveport. Tim Brando says this, that he's interrupting his self-imposed ban on X to follow what he believes could be the biggest college baseball story ever. It's baseball, and unlike every other sport in game, it's virtually impossible to win every game you play in a single season. LSUS baseball is trying to go 59-0, plus win the NAIA National Baseball title. It's already the longest win streak in history for a 4-year college. Southeastern of Florida led 4-0, and in the bottom of the 4th regained a 6-5 lead, lots of ball left. But what the Pilots of Shreveport, Louisiana have already achieved is incredible. The pressure that they face tonight to stay beaten, to win it all, off the charts. And he quoted one of the highlight tweets that we put out there. So,
How do we get him on?
Yeah.
yeah, how do we get
Connor, let's go.
Tim Brando? If you're listening and you want to join the broadcast, you are more than welcome.
Hey, we can DM him. He does follow us.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think that might
Thanks
require
for
a
following
heavy
us.
that might require a heavy sponsor budget for that. I don't know. That's out of my
Yeah.
control right now.
Thanks for following us. Would you like to immediately jump and work onto a broadcast and sit through this with us while we tell you 1.5 billion things about NAIA baseball that you'll never freaking need to know?
Yeah, what a great voice. It's awesome listening to him Saturday mornings in the fall. So what a great voice. And um, that's really cool that he did that. Really cool.
I need to screenshot all of that just for memory's sake.
Hey, for our West Coast listeners too, RIP to the Pac-12, but Tim Brando has called some electric Pac-12 after dark football games that I've been able to watch on FS1 too. So big moment for all of us.
No, it's really cool. From our standpoint, it's really cool. Just absolutely huge to have that on our end. Really cool for us, and really something exciting to look at and go over, and to know that he's paying attention. If you would like to have Tim Brando on the broadcast, press F in the chat.
F in the chat.
So go ahead and put that on there. We are going to have a lead-off walk. Draven Ziegler walked the first two hitters last inning as well, and that led to a run or 2 runs in that inning for Southeastern to retake the lead here. So Alfonso Villalobos is the new is the batter here. Not sure what Brad will do, if he'll go to the pen and take Ziegler out of the game. It would be, and he will take Ziegler out of the game. And we'll get you the new Taylor, if you want to, I'll fill for a little bit if you want to handle that project yourself there that you just texted everybody. Unless.
How many pitches was that for Ziegler?
I can go back and look.
Who know?
I can go back and look at the stats real quick. I want to say 25, 30, maybe.
If he's around that
31.
Yeah. So from a health standpoint, he should be okay to come back tomorrow if need be for an inning. I wouldn't think he would go more than 2. So curious to see if that played a part in going out and getting him and going to another arm.
So we've got a new pitcher entering the game for LSU Shreveport. It looks like Schechter will enter. So Kenneth Schechter, 33 innings pitched, a 3.55 ERA, 3-0 record, making his 21st appearance. He's got 1 save on the season, 29 hits, 13 earned runs, 31 strikeouts, and a 1-2-1 whip there. Draven Ziegler exits the game. So
yeah, he's typically gone an inning, maybe 2 innings per outing. So it'll be interesting to see. He's coming into the game. Where are we on the 5th?
Yeah, top of the 5th.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see how long he'll go.
Lot going on in this one. Runner on first base and the new arm entering the game. and a huge batter here. This is one of the bigger bats in the lineup for Southeastern in Alfonso Villalobos, a guy who has definitely had an impact on the season and can definitely swing it a little bit. So a big at bat coming right here.
I'm surprised no one's asked the question, what's been in Coach Garza's cup?
I'm not sure we want to know.
It's some high quality H2O. When you're outside in the sun building the fence, you got to hydrate.
There we go. High quality H2O there. First, it's going to be a 1-1 count, here, to Villalobos. So Alfonso Villalobos, really good hitter for this ball club for Southeastern. He's a guy that has definitely swung the bat well this year. He's got 80 hits entering today. So a huge at bat here in a 1-2 count to Villalobos as we are in the top of the fifth. So trying to hit the right around the halfway mark of this game. But first, some work from Shreveport that has to be done in this situation as a foul ball is going to happen there. Villalobos on the season, 80 hits, 81 RBIs, hitting .369, an on-base percentage of .470. He's only struck out 22 times. And, he's got 15 home runs on the year. It is definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. And this one is going to be a single through the left side. 2 on, nobody out. Southeastern trying to increase their lead. Big moments here. New pitcher on the mound. Strom already on the day has a hit and 2 RBIs with a double. It has been all Southeastern offensively in this one, getting things going. I swear to God, bunt, and they are going to say that he went around and he will not get first base.
Yeah,
that
some
could
big
be the
time
turning point right there.
Yeah. So they check down to the third base umpire, and they say that he did offer at the ball there on a bunt. And, that ball hit him squarely in the knee.
I don't know if they'll show it from the pitcher's point of view, but if you guys zero in, you can definitely see there's a Raleigh Cowboy hat in the stands on the first row.
I see it. He's got it on the knee right there. He's locked in.
He's locked in.
Sure is.
There's a foul ball for a fan.
I'm just saying, you might have started a whole movement with the cowboy hat.
Might have.
Every team in the country is going to have one in their dugout next year, I guarantee you.
We had Benedictine come down this year, and I was talking with Eric quite a bit about coming down here, and he was asking, well, we're going to have a little bit of time. What do we do? And the first thing I asked him, you got a pair of cowboy boots? He said, no. So, okay, there's one. I said, you got a cowboy hat? No. I said, there's two. You go to any store in Fort Worth. Shout out to Cavender's, right? Former Texas Wesleyan Ram, right-handed pitcher Drew Cavender. But Cavender's boots, hit them up and get you a nice pair of cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. And as a matter of fact, we sent him over there. Not sure if he walked away with some cowboy boots, but definitely wanted him to get loaded up in some gear.
6-5 is the score. And looking for the out there, and they're going to get a called strike 3 looking. And so that is going to be the first out of the inning. Strom punched out looking there. Castillo now up at the dish. Castillo's 0 for 2 today as, big strikeout for the first out of the inning there with 2 on and 1 out now.
Did we ever figure out what happened with the ejection?
I don't think we ever got anything.
I have some insight from a coach on site. Apparently, there was no ejection.
Okay.
Didn't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Wow.
I'm sure the umpiring crew got together and said, listen, there's going to be some emotion. There's going to be a little bit of chatter. This is the national championship game, so they're on their game. If there is something going on or chatter, these umpires, I think, are going to do a great job of handling it. They understand what's at stake here.
Yeah, this is not one that you want umpires to have a quick trigger on. This
Right.
is the game that you want them to have a little bit of leeway for all of that. Castillo at the plate batting here, and he's going to smack this one out to deep center, and no advance either. That ball went all the way to the warning track. No advance for Southeastern. And there's 2 outs in the inning now. They're 1 out away from getting out of this. That ball literally took the center fielder all the way to the track.
Yeah, that's a tough call. And as people as we're here witnessing it, that's actually the right play right there. If it falls, he scores.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fall, then can he tag up? Sure, but you're giving up the possibility of a run. So, um, um, that was the right play on his part. It would have been nice for him to get to third. That gives you a pass ball error, a little bit more opportunities to score. But there you go. Here we are.
Yeah, that one's going to be hit out into center. They're going to send the runner. The Mont's throw is going to go over the catcher. And yeah, little bit Aragon looking like, yeah, that ball should have gone to third base, but it's now 7-5 in favor of Southeastern in this one. Another single there, 8 hits, 7 runs. They're getting the job done offensively. It's been really well done for Southeastern here.
What's the highest scoring national championship game? Do we know? Can we find that out, Connor?
I can look up finals.
Taylor?
I'm sure we can go straight to our statistician, Hall of Famer Denny Grubb on that one.
He's
Yeah.
working. He's working right now. He's working this game. I actually have all the finals here. I've got them. In front of me. San Diego State in 1958 defeated Southwestern Oklahoma by a score of 23-9. So there's that. East Carolina, some of these names, man, when you go back into the 50s
Yeah.
and 60s. East Carolina defeated Sacramento State 13-7. Let's see, high scoring ball games. Lewis defeated Lewis Clark State 16-8. So I think 23-9 is probably going to take the cake.
32 runs. Not bad.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, 2016, you had Lewis Clark State defeated Faulkner 12-11. That's when they beat. That was part of their run there in 16 and 17, where they beat Faulkner in back-to-back seasons in the championship game. 14-6 last year. We had 20 total runs scored last season in a title game as well. But 23-9 between San Diego State and Southwestern Oklahoma in a matchup that took place in Alpine, Texas, of all places.
Yeah.
Listen to some of the ball clubs in this World Series in 1958. San Diego State, Elon, Indiana State, Sul Ross State, Adams State, St. Cloud State, Southwestern Oklahoma. Shout out Mayville State, Ozarks, Fairmont State, Simpson, Iowa, and then Creighton.
Wow.
Yeah. And they used to have a third place game in the 50s. So the third place team, St. Cloud State, defeated Creighton that year 6-5. That's wild. That is crazy. Yeah, same thing. 1961, you had East Carolina, Sam Houston State, Omaha, which I'm guessing Nebraska, Omaha, Sacramento State, Grambling, and Slippery Rock.
Slippery Rock as a school?
Oh yeah. Oh
D2
yeah.
D2 football power.
D2 football powerhouse. They give out the score of Slippery Rock at every Michigan game.
That may be one of the coolest school names I've ever heard in my life.
Slippery Rock.
Next
Yeah,
to Texas Wesleyan University.
for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. The Texas Wesleyan propaganda just continues. Lubbock Christian, gee, I mean, they used to play in Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock Christian won the title in 1983. Grand Canyon won it back-to-back years there. There was a couple years there where it was just Lewis Clark State or Grand Canyon playing for the national title. And then in 1984, for the first time, it went to Lewiston. And in 2000, it went to Lewiston and has stayed there ever since. So, did I just miss that right there? It was
You
a
did.
Aragon triple.
You did.
Sorry, I got into the history stuff, man. I was looking. I mean, it's crazy to see like Sam Houston State, East Carolina, Creighton, Indiana State. You know, some bigger name mid majors, and even like San Diego State. You know, that's a big time baseball school when you think about some of the people that have gotten to play there.
There it is. Manny Ramirez, 120 RBIs, just hit a ground ball to the second baseman. Gets the RBI, jog back to the dugout, high five some people, and call it a day.
Ryan Davenport scores Husband. It is a 7-6 ball game now in the bottom of the fifth. I think we've had one. No, we have yet to have an inning in this game where both teams have put up a 0 in the inning. But right now, Shreveport has had 2 innings where they haven't scored, including last one where they had bases loaded with 1 out. Just 1 inning like that for Southeastern in this game. So 1 out, 7-6 ball game. McDonald continuing to throw as the lineup turns back over, and Josh Gibson will be the batter here for the Pilots of Shreveport here in the bottom of the fifth. Southeastern leads LSU Shreveport by a score of 7-6.
Yeah, McDonald's doing a really good job with the two-seamer working down, and whenever he leaves it up and it's flat, it's been getting hit pretty hard. But there it is again. There's that two-seamer, and then when he can execute that pitch down and then be able to throw the changeup to combo it, he's pretty tough to hit. So let's see what he goes to here. Yep, elevated fastball. Two-seam that didn't sink on him.
Yeah, so that's going to be a single out to right field there. Runner on, 1 out. Gibson on at first base. And now that brings up Gom to the plate. A lot going on in this game offensively. Believe it or not, though, that's just the 5th hit on 6 runs for Shreveport in this ball game.
Yeah, huge right there. You know, you weren't going to hold a guy like, especially a hitter like Josh Gibson, down for an entire game as he comes through there with a single, looking to start another rally, and you're right back in it. Still 1-run ball game. Both teams have been able to take the lead. A lot of lead changes so far, but haven't had a lot of separation yet. Both pitchers have done a really good job, despite working around some early issues, to keep this game at arm's length, and right back in the middle of the lineup too, with a guy like Vantrell Reed up, and Gibson now out at second on the fielder's choice. So Gom reaches on the fielder's choice, but 2 outs now for Vantrell Reed in the 1-run ball game with 1 runner on.
They are asking, and Gabe Grinder is out there asking about interference. Gibson popped up and threw his hands out to make a safe gesture. The umpire is not agreeing with Gabe on that call there. It did look pretty close to being, potential obstruction. So,
Yeah, it can't pop up. He can't pop up. He slid right into the bag. Now, I'm thinking what the umpire's probably telling Gabe is that um, um, he thought it was clean, but you can't pop up.
yeah, That was close. That was close. So there are going to be 2 outs there after Gom reaches on a fielder's choice for Vantrell Reed, who gets a called strike against him there to start out the at-bat 0-1.
Oh, wait, this is my pick to click. Here we go. Here we
There you
go.
go. Yeah, get the hat back on there. 2 outs for Vantrell. 1-1 count now. Runner on first base, 5 hits for LSU Shreveport to the Southeastern 8. It's just a 1-run ball game, though, as we continue to go back and forth in this game. It has been just really crazy. That's going to be a strike. So 2 breaking balls over for strikes.
Because it was my pick, he's my pick to click. That pitch was outside. It was a ball. Come on. Come on, Blue.
Robbie, I totally forgot. We forgot to put out our NAI ball bets over and unders today.
Oh, yeah, for entertainment purposes only. Vantrell Reed grounds out, and we head to the 6th inning. Connor, would you like to throw out a over-under for entertainment purposes only right now for purely entertainment purposes? An over-under here as we have about four innings left to play ball.
Total runs? I'm going to set the over-under at 21.
We're already at 13. Are you going total runs for the game or total runs for the final 4 innings?
I'm going total runs for the games. I'm going to go 21 and a half. We still got a lot of baseball left. I think there's going to be some action.
So if you're in the chat and you want to guess on over under 21 and a half, over or under, we've got 13 right now through 5.
I'm picking under.
You're going with the under, really?
I'm going under.
Interesting.
I'm going under.
Wow. Okay. All right. Taylor, what you got?
Well, unlike these guys, I don't place bets, but I'm just gonna say over.
I like it. You can place your bets through my Venmo. I will drop the QR code in the chat.
Yeah.
If only Tyler was here and present tonight, he'd be all over this thing. He'd be throwing out lines like nobody's business. Him and Connor would have a field day.
Oh, it would be incredible.
Nate in the chat is going to take the under in that, and we are going to have an out. It's going to be a 3-1 put out for the first out of the inning. So Rossi is out there in the top half of the 6th, 1-run lead for Southeastern. Anybody else, if you want to put your guess in? I'm actually, you know what, G, the more I think about it, I think under also. I mean, do I think it ends 7-6? No, but I don't think we reach 22 runs.
Yeah, there's a reason why these 2 teams are here. It's offense, it's defense, it's starting pitching, but you don't win the amount of games that these 2 teams wins if you don't have a legitimate bullpen. And it could be one guy, it could be 3 or 4 guys. But there's a reason why they're able to sustain leads at the very end of the game, and I think this is where the bullpen comes in. And I wouldn't be surprised if Southeastern brings back some starters, and don't be surprised if Brad brings back a starter to in the game. But I think the pitching at the back end of the bullpen is another big reason why both of these 2 teams are here. So pitching and defense wins championships, and here we are, right? Here we are. Pitching and defense wins championships.
It really does. It really does. We got a lot of really good baseball that's been played in this tournament, but the reason why these 2 teams are here is because of pitching and defense, and also it's helped that Southeastern has hit really well. That one is going to be a 6-3 put out, so now 2 outs in the top half of the 6th, so the under looking better and better.
I don't know if this is allowed, but if anybody that picks the under will send me I don't know what you young guys call it, a tweet and tags me, I'll send them a Texas Wesleyan baseball t-shirt, but they got to tag me and say under.
What's your ad? How do they find you on X?
Yeah, so I do know that at Airborne Attack.
There you go.
So what's the story behind that, Coach? Is it like Connor? Did you used to have some ups back in your basketball playing days?
No, it really came back from being a young coach and just trying to figure out how do I connect with people that are pretty similar to my age and establish if we wanted something to be done from an offensive standpoint, I had to figure out a way. We had to figure out a way to connect the offense. So whenever myself or Jeremy Kennedy at that time wanted to create something or do something and get them to believe, that's where the airborne attack came into. And it was kind of a gimmick that became something bigger than us. And it stuck. And it's really neat to see it grow. The connection from Northwood University in Texas to the Texas Wesleyan, and people still talk about it. And
Oh,
it
nice.
started out something small, and it's been really cool to see it grow.
A 1-2-3 inning there, a rarity in this game. A 1-2-3 inning, 100% agree. It used to be a big point of pride with our hitters back in the day when I was in the program, and the moniker of airborne attack and being able to be part of that team and that offense, and so it was a big deal back then, and I know that I'm sure continues to be a big deal at Texas Wesleyan as well. There, G. We'll have to get into some. What do you think as far as favorite ejections that you have not been a part of? That don't include you. There are some favorites that I have. There's some things that I really moments that I really enjoyed and loved over the years. But what is your favorite ejection that doesn't include you?
Those are tough. And hey, we're talking about ejections. I haven't really been ejected that much, right? It's just when it happens, it's like, it's like the guy that doesn't speak, but when he does, it's like there's some really potent stuff that comes out of his mouth. So I guess whenever I get ejected, it's pretty special. But I don't know if there's my favorite one. I do remember again being a young kid, two young kids at Northwood University, and Jeremy Kennedy gets ejected, and I remember he goes by over to the side of the field, kind of hiding behind the batting practice turtle, and there was a foul ball, and I remember the ball going up in the air, and I'm thinking that's gonna go right at Coach K, and sure enough, it smacks him right in the head.
Gee, I'm going to cut you off here for a second because Searing is going to get all of this one gone. We are tied in this game 7-7 in the bottom of the sixth. A major home run to tie this game. Speaking of umpires, there's the umpire interjecting himself there into that play. But after that's what everybody came to watch. We are tied at 7 there in the bottom half of the sixth. That ball got out in a hurry. Wow. Gee, you're a hitting guy. Thoughts on that swing right there from Searing?
Absolutely loved it. If you look at where the location of the pitch was, right, it wasn't a bad pitch. Searing did a really good job of adjusting his body to work underneath and square the ball up. He also is really early in the zone and he gets to the zone really well. So no surprise that he was able to drive that ball out of the ballpark with that type of swing. Great adjustment to him. Great adjustment at the plate of getting the pitch down and away and driving it up on the air.
So McDonald's going to have to readjust here and face in Mons. You want to continue because I do love that story about a young Jeremy Kennedy.
Yeah, so he's hanging out over there by the hitting turtle, and of course he's a few years older than me, so my heartbeat's going a million miles per hour. I can't remember who we were playing, but there was a foul ball, and I'm just thinking that ball's going to hit him right in the head. And sure enough, ball come down. He didn't see it coming, and it domed him right on top of the head. And once that happened, it was like everybody was on high alert, right? Because Robbie, you've been there around K, right? You don't know if he's serious or if he's
Oh, yeah.
just you know being Jeremy Kennedy, and yeah, it absolutely domed him on top of the head. And back then, he and I used to live together um, before we both got married, and I remember at the house him talking about, yeah, I never saw it coming, and then he got domed, and he's like, I had to wear it like a chimp, but it hurts.
That is one of my favorite stories, and once again, just a huge moment here in a full count to Mons. A full count to Mons here. A big pitch is coming in this game. 7-7, bottom of the sixth in this game. 3-2 count to Mons. This is the guy that has done incredible things, and Yahtzee.
That's
Uh-oh.
crushed.
Same kind of deal. Got underneath the ball. Did a really good job of getting underneath the sinkers.
Just like that, it is now 8-7 in favor of LSU Shreveport here in the bottom half of the sixth. Absolutely incredible. Back-to-back jacks, solo shots from Searing and Mons. I mean, this is a guy that has played a huge role in this series. He had a huge role in the win in the really back and forth game, the close game win over Hope International, and really just driving that one out of the park there. You could see him between first and second realizing that ball went over the fence and just enjoying every minute of that.
I would hate to be the person to follow this next at bat up.
Well, they'll have to wait a little bit. We are going to have a pitching change in this game, and I will tell you about the new pitcher as I'm pulling it up right now. And I'm just making sure that I've got the right name because we already got the wrong name from the stats once today. Anthony Ortiz. It looks like Anthony Ortiz will enter the game for Southeastern. Anthony Ortiz on the season, 9 2/3 innings pitched, a 5.59 ERA, 2-0 record, making his 12th appearance of the year. 6 hits, 6 earned, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts, but a .93 whip. This has got to be a high velocity guy coming into the ball game here.
Yeah, 100%. And while we're in this pitching change too, just going back to Searing and Mons's big swings there, being in Oklahoma, I actually remember the name Jackson Searing, and when he showed up on the questionnaire, Brad sent in back in January, this is a guy that had a big time season at the D2 level at Southwestern Oklahoma State, had a 4-homer game last year at SWASU, and then Mons too, coming over from Louisiana Monroe, but another one of those JUCO guys that Neff has brought in. He was a big-time contributor for a really good Pearl River squad a couple of years ago. I know Noah Sharp is very familiar, and as we all are, with Pearl River Community College. But bottom of the lineup, too, I said it earlier on in the game, bottom of the lineup comes through with 2 massive swings, and we get another lead change.
Yeah, big old swings there, and it's going to be really interesting to see how they piece together this. Gee, it's starting to not look good for the for the under now.
No panic. We'll be all right.
It's starting to not look good for the under. 8-7, bottom of the sixth. in Lewiston, Idaho. And 8-7, back and forth we go. This has been a great national championship game. We saw some really good moments last season when we did this between Hope International and Tennessee Wesley, and that game got kind of out of hand later in the later stages. I mean, this has gone back and forth. This has been entertaining as all get out.
Like I was saying to
Yeah.
a couple other people the other day, it's like we've been blessed with a bunch of great games so far, and why not stop? During the middle of the week, we're going to get another great game tonight, and it's delivering so far.
Hey, and there's another great game that's about to happen a little bit later from another former NAIA powerhouse.
Oh, yeah? All right.
If I may add, the boys in blue.
I feel like you've got like 10 or 15 hats just right next to you.
Also, too, Garza, real quick on the boys in blue, because they just absolutely destroy my Oklahoma Sooners every time we match up. But I saw a tweet from Dallas Baptist earlier. A lot of weather delays down there in that Baton Rouge regional. But Dallas Baptist had free barbecue at the tailgate, passing the time as the LSU game started a little bit later than expected, and obviously pushed the Patriots back. So I would have loved to have been in that atmosphere, that's for sure, especially at a Cajun tailgate, but I know Dallas Baptist definitely does it right on the barbecue side, being in that area.
Just went off the wall and a double for Swenda, a huge at bat there. So a double for Swenda going off the wall. Here come the pilots of LSU Shreveport. Just absolutely incredible. Gee, when you were at DBU, were y'all NAI?
No,
Transition period?
my first year there, we went to Division II, and then my last year there, we moved up to Division One. But yeah, to Taylor's comment, DBU, they provide a great atmosphere as well. It's really neat. If you've never been to a DBU game, you've got to go. The barbecue pit's out in left field, and then at 7 o'clock every night, they play taps. Not them, not DBU particular, but there's a national cemetery behind left field, and they play taps as they lower the flag down, and it's really inspirational. It really is. Everybody in the park stops and everybody puts their hand over their heart and they acknowledge our fallen heroes. So definitely encourage people that if you're in this area, go watch the Dallas Baptist game.
Beautiful ballpark. Beautiful ballpark.
Yeah.
When
Don't forget, the Rams will be playing earlier in the day. So come out and watch the Rams at Sycamore Park and then head on over to DBU.
Get yourself on I-20 and head on over to DBU. Fantastic.
Yeah. And tell them Garza sent you.
Absolutely.
Get a discount. Get the friends and family discount there at DBU. Did you play with anybody there notable? I mean, you've had some big names at Dallas Baptist. Was there anybody notable while you were there?
Yeah. You guys ever heard of Ben Zobrist?
Every now and then.
Yeah.
Decent player.
Yeah, Ben Zobrist. He was a phenomenal baseball player. And as a matter of fact, that year, his senior year, was when he first started to switch hit. That was his first year to switch hit, was his senior year at DBU. And just as good as a ball player, he's twice as much as a better person. I mean, it's just outstanding individual.
He definitely, I mean, you hear nothing but great things about him, and World Series MVP. He's been out of the game for a little bit, but World Series MVP. So that's been really cool to see. A walk here is going to put runners on first and second, nobody out. Things are still rolling in the Pilots' direction in this inning. So good news for my fantasy baseball team. It appears that Otani has just gone yard twice.
Big for my fantasy team too, Robbie.
There we go. All right. I know I tried to get you in our fantasy league earlier in the year, in one of our new ones that we did back in the day. Garza, you remember I used to have that. God, I'm going to date myself here. You used to have that PSP, and we would pass that PSP around and do fantasy baseball drafts off of the PSP. Wow, what a play!
Yeah, great play. Great play. Look how close the umpire was to the base and making sure that he gets the play right. Outstanding play all the way around. Players and umpire.
Diego Aragon lays a bunt down, but Swenda is out at third, and that is the third baseman, Heinrichus, making the play to Villalobos on that, the rare 5-6 put out.
Wow.
To get the first out of the inning. Absolutely massive. And a foul ball. That one was smoked down the line. Yeah, Connor, you might want to, if you can grab that one, because I know Taylor's trying to grab the homers. Everybody's doing something here today. Everybody's doing something. If you ever have to feel bad for somebody, I say feel bad for Taylor Thomas, because he has to do everything. Or he has the ability to do everything. Connor's got to produce the broadcast. Garza and I just show up and look pretty.
I just talk into a microphone.
It just talks into a microphone. They're having, a really interesting. We're talking college baseball. Geez, got all these new rules and there's all these things. There was a collision, I believe, in the Oregon-Utah Valley game that they have been reviewing for a while now on what to do with the play. With the runner ran over the catcher, which of course is a big old no-no nowadays. We see it a lot, Women's College World Series, all of that. Obstruction is a big, big deal. How do you coach around that?
You just keep it simple, right? Slide into the bag, making sure that from an offensive standpoint, you do your best to allow the defenders to field the ball, make the plays when coming home. You have a right to the lane, and as a catcher, you can't block. You can't block home plate, but also the shortstops and second basemen can't block the bag before. Here we go.
Yeah, Ryan Davenport is going to single off the shortstop Villalobos, and that is going to score a run. It is now 9-7 LSU Shreveport with still 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, but you just do your best to keep everything simple and try not to do too much when you play the game. And from a defensive standpoint, you have to have the baseball. You can't do anything without the baseball. So
yeah, it's huge.
what's the over again? Over under 22.5?
It was 21.5. It's not looking good for us right now. Who took the under?
I'm pretty positive he said 24.5.
We've got a pitching change. Another pitching change is coming here. It looks like Cole Jones will head to the mound. 2 ERA for Jones, 27 innings pitched, 3-1 record, making his 23rd appearance of the year. 18 hits, 6 earned runs, 11 walks, 27 strikeouts, and a whip of 107. Southeastern needs to stop the bleeding in a big way.
Yeah, leads the country in saves too with 13. Really big power arm at the back end of their bullpen. But you got to throw your best right here. Like we said earlier, both teams have been able to scratch across runs in multiple different fashions, but have not been able to really pull away early on and up to this point, as it's still a 2-run ball game. So Gabe Grinder turning to his big gun here out of the bullpen, and big time moment here with a bat like Josh Gibson up in the 2-hole, and then Austin Gom right behind him. So great move by Grinder. You have to go to Cole Jones, as he's been one of the best arms out of the bullpen and any bullpen in the entire country all season.
Well, I got to go back to this one, right? I mean, the girls are going to be ready to go, and the head coach just sent me a text message about pregame, right? We 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. softball game. We're about 45 minutes away from the field. Yeah, it's going to be a long night, long day tomorrow. So, but the girls are going to do great, and we're excited. So, I got them all here. I mean, I got them all here. So, and believe it or not, I do have another cowboy hat. Let's do it.
I don't bet, Connor.
A while.
About 2.5 hours. Yep.
2.5 hours.
It's been a slow game up to this point, like we saw. Early on, both pitching staffs weren't able to settle in. A lot of walks, a lot of free passes has really made this game drag on. But still, nonetheless, I mean, it's been an absolutely incredible national championship up to this point. Really, all you could have ever asked for.
We're going to have bases loaded. Bases loaded here in this inning as Gibson's going to walk. Huge opportunity for Gom. Bases loaded, chance to really make a dent in this game here. Sure are.
Let's see where Gom puts this ball. It looked like he tried to take a shot on the first pitch, 0-0, to try to pull one and drive one deep. Let's see if he goes back to his approach and going middle away. There it is.
Yeah, so Gom is going to line out to the center fielder, but it is going to a really nice play by the center fielder as well. It's going to have runners at the corners. A run comes in to score, and it's now 10-7 Pilots out in front. You were talking about approach. I mean, that was a big time approach there, getting the job done.
Yeah, like I said, on the 0-0 pitch, he really took a shot and tried to pull one and drive one deep to left field. And then after that, it was pure team baseball. And that's what Shreveport does so well, is they play team baseball. And he gave himself a shot after that. Now it's time to play for the rest of the boys and drive one oppo.
So 2 outs in the inning here, and Vantrell at the plate, who is Garza's Garza. This was your pick to click tonight.
Yeah, he hadn't really gotten a hit, but what he's done is created solid at bats, made it tough to get out. He's put the ball in play. So, in a lineup like this, best players don't have to be the best players today because they've got enough players around them to continue to produce and create a win. So, I'm a huge Montrell Reed fan, so huge fan of his. Love the way he plays the game.
Absolutely, me too. I just wanted to piggyback off that real quick. First time I saw him live last year, instantly had to go say that to him, and we've seen it this year. He's been a big part in that middle of that infield with Jose Saller, and as to why that they have had this run so far.
So he pops out, and it is 10-7 as we head to the 7th inning of this game. So 10-7 is the score there. We have all hands on deck as we are trying to post things left and right. We got highlights going up on X as we talk. Taylor's doing that. Connor's doing that. I'm doing that. We are all trying to get things out there. Huge 4-run inning there, G, for the Pilots of LSU Shreveport. They lead now, looking to do all of this and trying to go 59-0 is incredible.
Sure is. And I know Gabe on the other side of the field, he's telling his boys, he's telling his team pitch by pitch, get a good pitch to hit. It all starts there with getting a good pitch to hit. And yeah, they're down by 3, but as we've been watching the game, 3 runs is like 1 run in this type of ball game where there's 17 runs already being scored. And we're not even through 7 innings yet. So yeah, just you got to stay in the strike zone. Don't try to do too much. I know that's kind of a boring, lame term, but there's truth behind it.
Yeah, no, it's gonna. I mean, guy coming back out on the mound here in this moment. What is your mindset that you hope he has? Obviously, as the head coach, you're not telling him like, hey, yeah, get out there. Like, you're not trying to change anything. But what is the mindset you hope he has after just his offense went out there, put up 4 runs? What are you trying to make sure?
Yeah, strike one's important. You got to get strike one, but the key is the first 3 pitches you throw, 2 of them have to be strikes, right? You've got to set the tone because at that point, the batting average doesn't matter who's batting, who's at the plate, the batting average flips in favor of the pitcher whenever you throw your first 2 out of 3 pitches for strikes. And then if you have an opportunity to get the first guy out of the inning, then the percentages of your opponent scoring a run that inning goes down. So 2 out of 3, and then try to get the first guy out, in which he did both right there.
Yeah, top half of the 7th, and there is 1 out after a ground out to Vantrell Reed for the first out of the inning. So 1 out here in the top half of the 7th.
Are we in his 3rd inning of work, or is this his 2nd inning of work?
We are currently this would be his 3rd full inning of work if he's able to work through this.
I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps going, if they leave him out there.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens here, and
look at that. Lucky fan gets a foul ball. Good for her.
They're just giving, and you know what? They're not like at Texas Wesleyan games. You have to take them back. You have to take them back to the concession stand. But
yeah, bring that foul ball back for a free treat.
I need to know something. I'll talk about it after this play. There's a pop up on the infield, and hello again, Mr. Vantrell Reed. Did you call a game this year when you weren't allowed to be in the dugout?
No, I did not. I was actually got the field ready and left, and went and got some of that Panther City barbecue over at Panther City, and got to hang out with those guys for a while, and then when the game was over, I went back to Sycamore and got the field ready.
There you go. Okay, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah,
I was thinking he pulled a Bobby Valentine.
Yeah,
Nah, I would never do anything like that.
assistant
You're right.
SID. I thought for the assistant SID for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Um, oh, looking for a big zero in this inning is Schechter. He got Alfonso Villalobos getting out. That's a huge bat to get out. And now Strom has had a good day as well. He's 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, but fouls that one off, keeps himself alive.
Yeah, at this point, you start going through the batting order of your opponents if you're Shreveport. You're thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to be able to get through the game if we go 3 up, 3 down, and who am I going to see in the ninth inning? That's going to allow you to start preparing of who you're going to pitch in the eighth and ninth inning. So where they are in their lineup, depending on where the game is, who he's got available, I guarantee you they've already planned this out last night in this situation. So maybe my pick to click was a defensive move.
It very well could have been, because he was involved in all 3 outs of this inning. Vantrell Reed gets the 3rd out. He gets them via 4-3, 4U, and F4 and a 4-3 put out. It is 10-7 Shreveport. We head to the bottom half of the seventh inning stretch time here in McAllen, Texas, as well as I'm sure other places around the country. But 7th inning stretch time here as well, and it is a 10-7 LSU Shreveport lead. Is it my turn to post these highlights? Am I good to post the Davenport single now? Can somebody give me? Yeah,
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that you had clipped that. I was about
I
to go
did.
do it.
Yeah.
If Connor has the play up, then yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Got it.
Yep, looks like he does.
Yes, he does. So, don't mind me while I tweet this out. Y'all feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Family affair at Shreveport. You've got the Neffendorfs. Shout out to Megan for being the head trainer out there.
Yeah, that Brad's wife, Megan, the
Yeah.
head trainer, so she made the trip with the team.
I wouldn't be surprised if that wiffle ball that came on the field was probably one of Brad's kids.
instead of everything else going on. You know, they instead of watching the game, they're out there running around. Wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't put it past them. Bottom of the 7th, getting underway here.
You know, Gabe's done a really good job with Southeastern, taking over for Adrian Dinkle and really keeping Southeastern going. He's done a really good job. I'm curious of what the feel is in their dugout. This is definitely a coaching moment for him and his group, which he's a phenomenal coach. So, yeah, curious to see what's going on in their dugout, what the feel is. At some point, there's got to be a little bit of sense of urgency where you do have to press a little bit. Because they definitely want to play tomorrow.
Yeah.
And hey, I definitely want to come out and hang out with you guys tomorrow. But I'll be at the softball field.
I was gonna say, I thought you got to solve. You got softball tomorrow. That's gonna be a big deal for you. So the leadoff hitter reaches via the hit by pitch. And it definitely looks like they're trying to play some small ball here with Montz. Not sure that they'll get that opportunity as he fouls that one away.
Yeah, definitely. Last inning they played a little bit of a gorilla ball, hit some home runs, double off the wall, and here they are trying to move this guy over to grab one more run. I'm pretty sure Brad's thinking to himself, we need one more run, and we feel like we've anything more, having 4+ run lead, with, 6 outs to go. Is something that he's probably feeling like that's where we need to be.
We'll see what happens here with Monts as we're looking for an action pitch.
Yeah, don't be surprised if we see a steal right here. You got a left-handed batter. Catcher's botched a few balls back there. And also Shreveport's really known for running, so don't be surprised if we get some action guy in motion here. Great play by the second baseman.
Wow, what a play is right by the second baseman to get that
massive.
out. How about Tim Brando is full on into the LSUS SCU experience here today. Taylor, you want to talk about what you just sent in the group chat?
Yeah, so Tim Brando, going back in the archives here, he doesn't look any older than he does right now in this picture, so he has aged very well. But that's a picture of him, Steve Spurrier, and then the future athletic director of LSUS Athletics. Just didn't realize that a guy as well known as Tim Brando had an NAIA connection. But not only is he doing that, he's tweeting about the game. He had a tweet about the back-to-back home runs. So as we said earlier, it's really cool to see the kind of reach that this brand has, especially the national story that Shreveport is. Been a back and forth game so far. I'm glad it's not just us tuned in. It's Hall of Fame media members like himself. So that's really, really cool to see.
It definitely this has been awesome. We've had a good amount of folks in here all night long and really in this live stream. Matt Mahoney's in here now. This one is going to go down the line and it is going to be caught. What a catch there by the left fielder there. I believe that was Piniella. Wow.
Yeah, Piniella has real quick back on that outfield defense too. With that Austin Gomsack fly, I mean, that was an incredible play by John Rossi, who's out there manning center field for the Fire as a freshman. He has made some highlight reel catches already this year, and then Piniella right there too wanted to join in on the fun. So 2 big time plays on defense. Going back to that sack fly too from Gom, that could have easily been a triple in the gap. That scored multiple runs and really put this game out of reach. So the freshman making a big time play on a big stage on defense, and then Piniella too right there as well.
Do we have a review coming?
It looks like it. Are they saying the ball was possibly trapped? That's got to be the only thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, a review is coming here. Looks like there's some questions from the pilot dugout, and they are going to go to a review.
Something to think about in the NAIA meetings. There's a possibility that there may be turf in the coming future.
Really?
Possibility. You think about some of the things that happen in, when you've got weather delays, you got to fix the mound. When you're playing three to 4 games on that field, that mound's going to take a beating. The home plate box, batter's boxes takes a beating in itself. So something to think about. I think it'd be a wise decision how it plays. I think it creates a higher scoring ball game. The ground balls get through the infielders a little bit more quicker. Balls in the outfield and the gaps. When the outfielders cut it off and keep it to a single, turns into a double. So curious to see what Lewis and Clark does in the next few years.
going back to this play, I think he made this catch.
Yeah, I don't see the ball pop out of that glove at all. I don't know that they have a view zoomed in enough down that left field line there either. But from what it looks like to me from this press box view, doesn't seem like this ball came out of the glove at all. But obviously on that side of the field too is the Shreveport dugout, so they had to have seen something to at least warrant a review here.
They've talked all week long on the broadcast that the league has different angles than we have. Matt Mahoney at Georgia Gwinnett's got a hot take here. Effie Burger, 1 star.
Oh, 1 star?
He's not an Effie Burger guy.
Can't say I've had a Effie burger, but I think I need to.
We'll have to get you out there to Lewiston to try it. They're about as
I'm probably the biggest local food guy there is when I travel out of state, so I need that. It looks like Ryan Sturgeon.
yeah.
Ryan Sturgeon had a tough go with Effie Burger as well, but that might have been the toppings choice on that one. But it sounds incredible.
Yeah, it didn't. Well, I don't know if it was from Effie's Burger. It could have been. we had what was that right-handed pitcher's name that got sick? You remember, Rob?
Who got sick when we were out there? I mean,
Yeah.
like a million years ago.
Yeah, it was. Right-handed pitcher was about 86, could pinpoint accuracy. He was
Okay.
at
Can you narrow it
UT.
down any more to every single right-handed pitcher?
Oh gosh, what was his name? I can't remember.
Was it Clayton?
Clayton. There it is. Yep, Clayton.
Woody?
Clayton Woodruff.
He still work for the Cowboys?
He does
Okay.
not.
Well, the hope I had of going to a game this year. Oh, that one's going to get back up the middle. And he fell. Wow, then he didn't slide. But it looks like he's safe anyway. So the situation there, Salarin singles up the middle. Searing fell between home and third base, but he goes ahead and touches the plate anyway. 2 outs in the inning.
Wow.
It's now 11-7.
Yeah, that was a rough go around third there. I know that Pilot dugout's gonna get on him for that one, but another big insurance run there. Salarin once again drives the ball up the middle for an RBI single, and now it's a 4-run lead. And with Kenneth Schechter too, who's been out of the bullpen and been a calming presence for that Pilot pitching staff. He's been, lights out, as I'd imagine Brad's going to roll him back out there. He's 3 scoreless right now with 2 Ks on just 39 pitches out of the bullpen, but 2 hits given up. So really, really steadied this game out, and this Shreveport lineup continues to do damage.
Matt Mahoney with another big comment here. How good is a burger if everyone goes once, but no one ever goes back?
He's got a point.
Well, Matt, I've only been to Lewiston once, so didn't really get a chance to go back. Not like GGC where we're there every year. Yeah. Southeastern's going to get out of the inning with there, and we're going to the top of the 8th. At what point, outside of Matt Mahoney's comment of Effie Burger, how good can Effie Burger be if everybody goes once but never goes back? What point in that dugout? And you've coached in the World Series. You've coached in one of the biggest moments in the World Series. You were part of the team of on the coaching staff that threw the last no-hitter at the World Series back in 2013. When do you start counting outs?
You don't, and that's where you really have to have some self-control. And maybe it's different, maybe you're not counting outs, but you're looking at their lineup and figuring out who's coming up in certain situations, and then understand how many pitches does X pitcher have for us today, right? And you start game planning, and I'm telling you, Southeastern, Gabe has gone through this scenario last night, this morning. We're down by X amount of runs in this inning. Brad's done the same thing. We're up by X amount of runs in this inning. And they've gone over this and they know their team's better than everybody. So I wouldn't necessarily say that they're counting outs. I don't think you do count outs. I think you have an understanding of where you are in your position based off of the game. Is that a form of counting outs? Possibly, but there's no way in heck you start counting down, you counting outs. Okay, three more. Okay, two more. One more out, right? You can't do that. You'll drive yourself insane.
Giving some love on the broadcast right now. Again, you can get this game on the Urban Edge Network. As we start the top half of the 8th. Again, if you got questions for us, you got comments, you want us to answer a question, go ahead and drop that in the live chat.
And Connor, I have 3 cowboy hats. Just to clarify.
That's 3 more than I have.
Yeah. Well, come on, go to Cavender's.
You know, in my time at Southwestern Christian, Coach, I never got to venture much on road trips to Fort Worth outside of Sycamore Park. Really unfortunate at that too. But we do have Cavender's in Oklahoma, so I might need to make a trip. I might need to broaden my horizons as a Oklahoma City native myself.
Yeah. Yeah, their Drew Cavender was a right-handed pitcher with Texas Wesleyan. He was a 90-92 with the slider type guy back when we played at LaGrave Field.
Geez, I don't miss that place. Beautiful ballpark.
It's where hitters go to die.
But there was no offense. However, that built the legend of Court Miller.
Court Miller. Yeah,
Court Miller. 2 outs now in the top of the 8th. What were we? We were down what, like 8-0 in that game. We throw Court in there as a cleanup guy, back end bullpen guy, and he throws like 6 shutout innings, and we come back to win 9-8 against your current employer. Sorry, at LaGrave Field. That was a lot of fun. My family was in town for that one. That was a blast. I remember that one vividly.
That over and under is looking pretty good for the unders.
You want to tell people again, if they're watching, what your deal is?
Yeah, if you tweet at me, is that what it's called? You tweet at me?
Yeah, you can tweet at me.
Okay. At Airborne Attack, and you tweet under, we will definitely send you a Texas Wesleyan baseball shirt or hat, whatever you like, hoodie, doesn't matter.
I would take that if you let G know that you're taking the under. The under is set at 21.5. That is a pop-up straight up into the air. Vantrell Reed camp under it. And we're headed to the bottom of the 8th, 11-7 Pilots trying to go 59-0 in this one.
Yeah, Kenneth Schechter has been lights out on the mound, really, really pounding the strike zone. Now 4 innings of scoreless work out of the bullpen. Just really, really impressive stuff on a day where, you know, you start your closer, you pitch off. Draven Ziegler doesn't have his best stuff, obviously on short rest, probably playing a huge factor into that one. But really, really a steady presence now through 4 innings, as you said, now going into the bottom of the 8th, now 3 outs away. You got to think Schechter's going to get back out there on the mound. But for Shreveport right now in this scenario, you need all the runs you can get, especially against this lineup that has already proven to string a lot of big-time hits together.
We have someone that has tweeted.
There you go.
Yes. Mark Hendricks is on the board.
All right. We'll hold space for Connor, who will rejoin us at some point. But there you go. I mean, if at this point now you're rooting for zeros. Free shirts. Gee, you gave me, I think y'all played in Victoria. You gave me a Texas Wesleyan hat. I'll be honest, I have it. I've never worn it. I put it on my Snapchat. This is back when Snapchat was a big thing. I don't know if Snapchat's still a big thing. And I had a lot of my teammates that were very unhappy that I even had possession of a hat that said Texas Wesleyan or that had a ram on it. So that's one rivalry I miss because that was a true rivalry. That was a lot of fun back in the day. That is packed in Lewiston. That's awesome.
I was going to say, I meant to mention that earlier, but this has been a really, really good turnout for this national championship game, which is honestly no surprise there, especially with how that town supports this World Series year in and year out.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's been interesting to see the last 2 years with the Warriors not being in it, with LC State not in the tournament. But it really has been some good turnouts. I think the Monday night Memorial Day game, we had something like, I think they said 2,500 people at the game is what we got from box scores. So that's a really great amount for these games here, as Jones still in to pitch for Southeastern, trying to find a way to retire Ryan Davenport, and he will not. He will walk Ryan Davenport.
Yeah, and this is where you want to be too for this pilot lineup, looking to add more insurance runs. As I just said, you want as many runs as you can get here to really, really widen that gap. But Davenport starts it off like he's done all year long, working a great quality at bat, drawing a walk, and then now you have 2, 3, 4, Josh Gibson, Austin Gom, Vantrell Reed, looking to really, really put this thing out of reach.
They're going to do everything they can here to really, really open this one up. Close pitch there. I thought he was gonna give him the strike on that one. High and tight there, almost hit him.
Yeah, and Robbie, going back to seeing the Shreveport team live there at the Cajun, obviously opening weekend for a lot of teams, so you really don't know how much you can take out. But obviously, we've seen these top three arms pitch for them all year long. But Garza said it too, and I'm glad he did. This defense has really, really been the calling card of this team, not only in the infield especially, but in the outfield as well. And then that top four in the lineup, when you have guys that just really do not strike out, it's hard to get these guys out if you're an opposing pitching staff. And that's obviously really putting some pressure on every team they played this year, as Gibson's going to drive that one into the gap. And Davenport going to come around and score. So just like we said, Josh Gibson, you can't hold him down for long. The conference player of the year delivers a big RBI double, makes this thing 12-7.
12-7 is the score. It is Pilots in this one. It looks like a mound visit here. They might be making a pitching change, but Josh Gibson with a massive hit to make that 12-7 there, a huge insurance run. And they are going to make a pitching change. We'll tell you about the new pitcher. And it looks like it's going to be graduate Tyler Zylstra, 13 and 2/3 innings pitched, and 14th appearance. 8.56 ERA, 20 hits, 13 earned, 5 walks, 15 punch outs, and a 1.83 whip will enter the game. So, did not see Aaron Robertson today. Likely will not see him. Makes sense. We thought he might start, but 130 plus pitches on just 2 days of rest is hard to come back from.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robbie, this is a guy from Murray State Junior College here in Oklahoma. Hadn't been used a whole lot, but been there for quite some time. So he's no stranger to the big stage. But right now, in this moment, when you're down 5 runs, especially to the middle of that order, coming in with no outs and a runner on second base, you really, really need to attack the zone here and make some quality pitches. And if you can keep it at 5 right here, it's still a ball game. But definitely Shreveport has really, really been putting the pressure on now, scoring in 4 straight innings. Obviously, with that RBI double by Gibson earlier on to make this thing 12-7. Still a shot, though, as we've seen through this game, like Coach mentioned earlier. A lot of these outs have been really, really hard to come by. Probably going to see Kenneth Schechter coming back out with the 5-run lead now, but Shreveport really, really looking to put this thing away now.
So,
I wouldn't be surprised if they do bring him out. I would think he's probably hit his limit from a coaching standpoint. I would think he's hit his limit. And you always want to bring your pitcher out on a high note, right? So you don't want to throw him out there, go get him in the middle of an inning because you've extended him too long. So there's a guy that I think he's going to go to. I think he's going to go to Rhodey.
I was kind of wondering the same thing earlier, Coach, when this was a little bit closer. But right now, why not? I mean, if you want to go out, what better way to do it than with your horse and the ace and the best pitcher in the country?
Yeah, I think he's going to go to Rhodey, and I think what you do internally as a team, you give that guy the player of the game, the guy that really pieced it together for 3 innings?
Yeah.
I mean that guy right there shut him down and it kept the game. He allowed his team to go out there and put up some more runs. So, that to me that's the player of the game. And then you go to Rhodey to close it out, dog pile, and then go to Effie's Burgers afterwards.
This is definitely this has definitely changed. The momentum has swung. In the bottom of the 4th, Shreveport had the bases loaded and 1 out and did not score anybody. And this game has changed drastically. Shreveport still with 2 outs, just 1 for 7, 3 for 14 with runners in scoring position, but getting the job done. The 2 solo homers, just getting manufacturing runs and getting everything done has been incredible from that side of things for Shreveport. I mean, just a huge job for them. I mean, you look at the pitching staff. I mean, Schechter's come in 4 innings of work, 2 hits, no runs. He's only struck out 2. He's getting contact that keeps him in the ball game, and it's just been a heck of a job from him. And so Shreveport here in the bottom of the 8th, just anything they score, 1 gets us closer to passing the under, and 2 just is going to be. Yeah, it too is just, a huge insurance run. You have to imagine you're just sending Schechter back out there unless you bring in Lex Minderts.
You could, and a lot of options right here. Minderts has been absolutely electric for them out of the bullpen. Really big strikeout stuff, especially with his fastball changeup. But I'm kind of wondering the same thing as Garza here. Do you just go and turn to Rhodey right now? I think that's a storybook ending for a guy like him. First World Series for such a decorated pitcher, especially the guy who's leading the country in almost every single pitching statistic. But a lot of options there for Brad. Rhodey, obviously, you said Lex Minderts. You really, really like your odds here, no matter who you send out for this top of the 9th. But first things first, you can keep extending this lead and really, really put this thing out of reach as the cleanup hitter, Vancho Reed, steps up to the plate with 2 guys on.
Yeah, Lex Mindertz, he's actually a former Texas Wesleyan Ram. But most definitely in this position, I just don't know if there's any other person I'd want to go to if I was in Brad's shoes other than Rhodey. If he's your guy, you go win a national championship with him, and so to me, that's the only person I go to in this part of the game. And you know what? If the Fire can pull a rally together in the ninth against Rhodey, then that now gives them more momentum going into tomorrow if they can pull away with an upset here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it'll really will limit Rhodey's output tomorrow.
Hey, we got a good question here as Van Trail tries to get that one down, and they're going to grab that foul. So foul ball there as they're trying to move him over and uh, just continue to play small ball station to station. But we got a good question here from Kenny, who asked, is this the best team to ever win a national title in the NAI? That there are some unbelievable teams that were eye opening and leaving with the title, but it's kind of hard to say when you think about the history of the sport and what all of what everything is in the sport, and some of the people who have played in the NAI. Our Player of the Year award that we'll be giving out in like 2 weeks is the Lou Brock Award, and it's named after Lou Brock, who played in the NAI. Didn't technically play in the NAI, but I mean Texas Wesleyan has one of the greatest baseball players to walk the face of the earth of all time. Played at
Yeah.
Texas Wesleyan. There's been so many names that have played baseball at this level or at schools associated with this level. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, if Brad Neffendorf isn't going up on the stage at the ESPY Awards and receiving the trophy, then we have truly missed our mark. I mean, will this ever be done, right? Ever again? And to know that we've been able to experience this and do it, with I've been able to experience this with you three guys, and I'm very honored to do that. But you're talking about this is probably one of the greatest feats ever to be accomplished. And wow, you kind of get a little emotional because you've been in the shoes of both sides as Gabe Grinder and as Brad Neffendorf, where your season is coming to an end. Both of them, both seasons are coming to an end. Um, and one's going to be smiling and one's not. So yeah, it's pretty special to witness what's going on right now.
It really is. Taylor and I and Connor, talked about this a little bit yesterday, but part of the reason why we've covered this so hard this year is because we don't know if this record stood for 16 years, but will it be in this win streak could stand for another 16. It could go longer. There could be more than that. To say that Shreveport's never going to lose another game again is just not a thing. But we got to watch. We got to be part of history yesterday. We cover this team on a regular basis, and there's going to be larger outlets that come across and come around, and we'll get that attention. But it's for the good of the sport more than anything. But at the end of the day, our focus is to be here, it's to be present, and it's to cover baseball at this level. And we don't know if we'll ever get to see this again. And we're still all relatively young here. They had who was that on second base? That Gibson looked like they had Gibson picked off at second, and then the ball is thrown away. So it'll be second and third, one out. They're going to bring the infield in. They will have three infielders on one side, every three infielders to the left of second base there. So 12-7 is the score. They're trying to add on.
Yeah, it looks like we got a mound visit here as you go to that strategy. Like we said, you got to keep it here at a 5-run lead already with 1 out. But a big bat like Searing up, and then Mont's right behind him, who has done the most. Those two have done the most damage all night near the bottom of that lineup. So Searing and another big swing can really put this thing away. But you got to go with whatever strategy you can here to give your team the best shot going into that top of the 9th inning, no matter what the score is.
This game has taken a while. We are approaching the midnight hour Central Time.
Hey, that's the perks of being in Colorado. It's only 10:42 right now, so I've got plenty of time.
Sure. Hate you.
I just got a mean look from my girlfriend that's over here.
I'm up all night. I don't care what time this thing's being played. I'm watching it.
I know. I'd be here for this one. It is hard for these West Coast games, but big play here and 1 out here in the inning. Shreveport trying to add on, and we'll see if Searing can help his cause here. We'll see if Searing can help and make that, and he will. It'll be a sac fly to center, right center, and a run will come in to score 13-7 now.
Yeah, I still think in this situation you still go to Rhodey, right? However, you're going to get somebody down in the bullpen. You don't let Rhodey see that there's someone down in the bullpen. And typically a competitor like Rhodey, the moment he sees someone's in the bullpen, that's whenever he's going to go to another level. And that's what makes him better. Him such a great pitcher is his ability to go to another level different than everybody else. So I still think you go to him, but he's on a strict pitch count because the game is slowly getting there. We've got a 6-run lead.
Yeah, 6-run lead now. So now the umpires are going to converge.
This is interesting. What maybe that he left early or didn't touch home?
No, there was some jawing going on there.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can see on the replay what happened there.
No, don't eject them. Leave them in there.
Yeah, not right now. I mean, Schwellenbach's fired up though.
I think they're just going to play here. The home plate umpire seems to be having the conversation.
I think I might be a little bit ahead of you guys, but Coach Grinder came out there and tossed that bat back to the Shreveport dugout. That's what started it.
Yeah, they're definitely. You can tell they probably didn't like the bat flip or something that happened there, and it definitely a tough situation there. You could tell Coach Schwellenbach wasn't happy. Coach Jones wasn't happy. Brad looked like he was just sitting back in the dugout enjoying his time right now. So gonna get interesting here. Yeah, went around there, so that's gonna be a strike.
Hey, I love that. I'm all for some emotion, especially with a national title on the line. Yeah, it's gonna happen. But yeah, I wouldn't like that either if I were Shreveport, and I wouldn't say I like how it's playing out here late if I'm Southeastern. But gotta love the intensity nonetheless on both sides. But man, that Shreveport dugout was pretty animated after that. I didn't realize that's what happened.
Yeah, so that seemed to really kickstart things a little bit. Kenny asked a good question. How many of these LSUS players, as we can tell, I've been talking for a while now also, how many of these LSUS players return this season?
I think he loses a lot.
He does. He does lose a lot. Guys like Vantrell Reed were there last year. Obviously, Rhodey, Ziegler. I believe Salarin was there last year as well.
Yeah.
They brought in Searing. I know Josh Gibson was there last year too. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of been the driving force. And Robbie, you talked about it when our Baseball America preview, when you got quotes from both Ryan Davenport and Diego Aragon. The leadership on this team, especially falling short the last 2 years with all those returners, has really, really been the driving force this year as we head to the top of the ninth.
Yeah, top of the ninth. LSU Shreveport needing just 3 outs, and sure enough, out onto the mound is Isaac Rhodey to close this one out. Wow.
Honestly, that just gives me chills hearing that Rhodey's going out for the ninth. That's awesome. So
I had that thought in the fifth inning, and then what Coach Garza said is my exact thoughts too. If you want to go win a national championship, you give the guy like that the ball, especially like you said, he's a competitor, man. He's one of the best pitchers I've seen in quite some time, a la Colton Williams, if you will, Coach Garza.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Great comparison on Colton Williams and Isaac Rhodey. Anytime those guys go into the ball game, your team's gonna have a high probability of winning.
And he's going to face 9-1-2, John Rossi, John Paul Pinello, and Charlie Collins. So top of the lineup here, but you have the best pitcher in America needing 3 outs, the 6-run lead. Definitely like your chances. Last 3 outs, as they say, it's always the hardest to get. But, Rhodey and this team fell short last year, and what better way to do it with that guy taking the ball for the final 3 outs.
This is going to be really, really fun to see here. Rhodey enters the game and will try and put this one away and end the season here. 119 and a third innings pitched, 16-0, an ERA of 2.11, a K per 9 of 10.94. Southeastern sends White to the plate here. Rhodey, the left-hander, is, getting the ball back and just right back on to the mound to get ready for this one. He is firing, and there is strike number 2.
God, that was gross.
Yeah, no doubt. You go into last night, right? I'm sure Neffendorf got a knock on the door, and it was Rhodey saying, "If I'm not starting this game, I'm closing this game out." So
absolutely.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Strike out there. 1 out here in the 9th inning. So that'll bring up McMullen, and going to keep it here. I'm not even going to look at the stats. Just going to keep it right here on the game. And McMullen, first pitch swinging, and he is going to fly out to the center fielder. 1 out away from crowning a national champion. The Pilots 1 out away from the perfect season. Just needing 1 more out. And you can feel just this, Rhodey's got a big smile on his face as he digs back into the rubber. The fans for Shreveport are up and ready. Ball number 1, top of the 9th, 2 outs. This is incredible. Trying to go 59-0. Here's a ground ball hit to Vantrell Reed. Nobody else to end it. Vantrell Reed gets the 4-3 put out, and the Pilots of LSU Shreveport are dogpiling as they complete the perfect season. 59-0. First championship in school history for baseball. 59-0 go the Pilots as they are the national champions in 2025. Wow.
And I love
Absolutely
this
unreal.
too. I love this too. You got you got some kids running on the field too. I mean, they're going to remember this the rest of their lives, and we can all talk about it too because we're all former ball players ourselves. But when you're around people like that, and you're especially at a small level of college baseball like the NAIA, and you have a kid, random kid that you didn't know, come up to you, and we saw Shreveport in the opening round hand out autographs. It really kind of puts things in perspective. Not only that, but I mean, this is their first title in program history. A team that's been on the doorstep, been at the World Series, missed the last 2 World Series, but had a lot of really, really elite and special ball clubs over these past 4 to 5 years, especially under Coach Brad Neffendorf. But finally breaking down the door, and what a better way to do it, man! This is, I mean, it's. I might be biased because it's the NAIA, but this is the greatest college baseball team of all time, and they just finished the job, 59-0. I mean, this is incredible.
G, thoughts on what you just got to witness? I mean, we just watched a team go 59-0. It's likely we'll never see anything like this again at the college baseball level, baseball in general. I mean, we just watched history.
Speechless, man. Emotional. Absolutely remarkable. Brad, his staff, the players. He's going to say the players deserve all the credit, and he's right. The players go out there and win and lose the game, but the coaching staff keeps it together. Congratulations to those guys. Congratulations to Gabe and his team for getting all the way to the championship game. That they have a great ball club, and they'll be back. They'll be back in Lewiston. But kudos to Morgan and Brad. For what they put together over there, the athletic director Lucas Morgan and Brad Neffendorf. Super proud of him. We're on a text message thread. We probably text message 5 to 10 times a day, nonstop, and proud to be his friend. I'm proud to follow him and his team. And golly, I'm really emotional. We have so much fun wearing these goofy hats and talking and having a good time, but you play this game to win, and what they were able to do, they did it for 5, 6 months of just pure winning. So, pretty cool to see the greatest team ever,
100%.
any sport, any
100%.
sport.
Perfect season. Connor, some thoughts on this, man. I know you've got things going on also over there.
I mean, this is just crazy. Like Noah Sharp just tweeted us. He's like, everybody's going to remember where they were when Shreveport finished off the perfect season, 59-0. And, this is crazy, for them to fall short and not make it to the World Series the past couple of years to, doing this. I mean, this is just absolutely insane. So hats off to everybody at Shreveport. And, I mean, this is just incredible. And this is going to be talked about for years to come. And, what a pleasure it was to cover it this season, and just absolutely incredible. So I'm super happy for them, and I made bag tags for a national championship team, so I could put that on my resume. So absolutely insane, and huge congrats to the pilots, and I can't wait to make some phone calls and talk to some people. So congrats to them.
I'll say this: I got to give credit to Connor here because in our preseason spaces, you're the one who put the onus on me to who my national championship, who my national championship team was going to be, and I picked LSU Shreveport, and here we are, 59-0,
Mm-hmm.
and that was back in mid-January. And you know what? It's funny because Brad has never forgotten that, and he has texted me about that last night. So it's what a season. We're probably never going to see this again, and at least in our lifetimes. And then even more special to have it be a program that we're all very familiar with. The Cajun is hosted by Shreveport, and we are welcomed every single year at the Cajun with open arms, and they take very good care of us and make sure that we are well taken care of at the Cajun. Brad is at the forefront. He was instrumental in helping put together our off-season coaches panel that we did in December. Yep. And, got some helped put some really big names on that panel. We are been familiar for years with players like Vantrell Reed, like Isaac Rohde. There are a number of players. These guys just went through the greatest season in college baseball history, going undefeated. And we're going to be talking about this forever. But more importantly for us, like as NAI ball and what Cody Butler started was for this.
Yeah.
It was for this, it was for this. It was to be able to cover these moments and highlight it. And, these guys are going to start appearing on bigger stages over the next week or so. I wouldn't be surprised if GMA, has Good Morning America is out there talking to them. I mean, the greatest college baseball season ever, undefeated, 59-0, national champions. And, it's a special moment, a special season, something that we'll never get to do again. Congratulations to the Fire of Southeastern on a wonderful year, and Gabe Grinder getting to the national championship in his first season as head coach in Lakeland. Definitely continuing what was building out almost an entirely new roster and definitely having, some really great players that have done really good things. The award ceremony will be starting. You can catch that over on the Urban Edge Network. Guys, we are about to approach the midnight hour here in the Central Time Zone. I'll start with you, Coach Garza. Some final thoughts on the night.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me get a drink real quick.
More Texas Wesleyan propaganda.
Oh, man.
Well, great season. Absolutely capping off with a perfect season by Shreveport. So really cool 2025. Looking forward to 2026. Looking forward to catching up with everybody in the fall out in the recruiting trail and at the national convention. So extremely thankful for everything that you guys do at NAIA Ball to promote not just NAIA baseball, but this is our game. All of us, you guys, all the players, all the coaches, this is our game. So very thankful for all the coverage that you guys give to us, and super honored to be on here with you guys, and wish you guys a happy summer.
Thank you, G. Connor, you've got the most to post coming up right now, and put some graphics out there. Final thoughts from you.
Yeah, just I think this is year 5 or 6 with the brand for me. So you see something new every year, and we just saw something crazy. So hats off to everybody that made it to the World Series and had good years. So I'd like to say we're going to take a couple weeks off, but we got our award show coming up, and obviously our summer content. But we will be taking it easy at some point. But I say that. But congrats to everybody on a good year, and I'm looking forward to growing some stuff and getting stuff ready for next year and implementing some new stuff. So yeah, excited for next year already.
Taylor, it's been a great season. Couldn't have done it without all the help that you bring. Why don't you tell us a little bit about just your thoughts on today and the season that we just got to witness?
Yeah, as these guys, just said, I don't think it's really sunk in yet that we were a massive part in helping showcase the greatest season in any level of college baseball history. Hats off to Brad Neffendorf, Stephen Jones, Jordan Schwellenbach, Cy Kerber, AJ Fritz, and the Shreveport staff. That university has really backed this team. The state has backed this team. Connor, you have to imagine that they're partying at walk-ons right now back in Shreveport. But all the credit to this coaching staff, these players, to keep these guys locked in through a run like this. And really, too, on the national scale, I mean, this is, year two for myself, obviously, and Tyler with NAIA ball, and um, I know I'm not as old as some of the guys in the NAIA that have been around this level for their whole lives, like unlike me. But this has been truly one of the crazier seasons throughout the country that we've seen in quite some time. We had a team from Canada in the World Series, UBC making their first World Series since 2006. Obviously, Loyola going for the first time in program history, but the parity around the league this year has really been unprecedented, at least in my memory, going back to my time as a player, which started in 2017. The amount of upsets we had from day one, no hitters, cycles, just historic feats, and then to end it all off tonight with just a storybook ending. You really can't write a better movie script than what just happened here. LSU Shreveport finishing the perfect season, 59-0, with maybe the best pitcher in NAIA history, and Isaac Rohde getting those final 3 outs too. I mean, it's been incredible to witness. I'm sure it'll set in for me here in a few weeks. But man, hats off to LSU Shreveport, us here at NAIA Ball, Coach Garza for joining us as well, and every single program that's allowed us the access that we've had to follow their teams and help showcase this league to a national scale. We've got, Hall of Fame media members like Tim Brando, amongst others. We've been on ESPN, I think, 6 to 7 different times this year. It's been incredible to witness the growth of the brand. And Robbie, you said it earlier, but this reason right here is why Cody Butler started this. And I'm glad we can all play a part into continuing that legacy.
It really has been, and I'll close this out with just my final thoughts as well on this. It's been an incredible year. We got to watch, we got to be part of history. We got to cover history, from A to Z. We start the season with, talking to coaches about what the programs look like in the fall. We built partnerships with the KCAC. We've had a special partnership with Netting Pros, the partnership with Urban Edge. It's been incredible. Show Me Collegiate League. Just really thankful to everybody who's played a hand in helping us get to the end of the season. On top of that, we've seen the baseball continue to get better at this level across the board. I know we just had a team go 59-0, but coast to coast, the game gets better. The game has gotten better. And I think that the game is only going to be in a better state. And our job is not just to cover the game, but it's also to advocate for the game. We're not we're going to watch the regionals. We're going to watch other things, but our job is to advocate for the players and the coaches of NAIA baseball. And that's part of our job as well. It's not just media. We're also advocates for the game because we all played the game at this level. We all came through the game at this level. And it has been truly, truly incredible to watch. I want to, congratulate Gabe Grinder on a great season. I want to congratulate Brad Neffendorf on the perfect year, and as well as all the pilots of Shreveport, as well as his coaching staff, especially Coach Schwellenbach and Coach Jones. Steve has earned this for sure. And I think that this has been an incredible watch to the season. What's next for us is we will take about a week off, and then we will have our award show. We'll have our award show, and also we will have draft content. We will have UDFA signing content. We will have all of that will happen throughout the summer. We basically just take a smaller step back. We're working on projects that are going to highlight not just NAIA baseball, but small college baseball as a whole. There are so many irons in the fire, and this team works really, really hard. I need to thank our team for the season, first and foremost to Mickey and Melissa Butler for allowing all us to continue to do and being a part of all we continue to do. I want to thank, of course, Tyler Norris, Connor Darnell, Taylor Thomas, who's done an incredible job this year. Connor, everybody's done an incredible job. It's been fantastic. We had our largest and most diverse intern class ever.
Mm-hmm.
We had people who weren't even at NAI programs, people who played different sports in the NAI. It was awesome to see. It wasn't just NAI baseball players, but especially my group. I'm going to give an opportunity to them. I want to thank them for the year. I'm not going to name them individually because then we'd have to name everybody individually. But it's been a really, really special year this season, and we'll take a week off and then we'll get ready to go from there. So, guys, I'm done talking. I want to say that this is exactly what Cody would have loved. He would have absolutely loved this moment. He would have been thrilled that we're all over it. I got to thank Coach Garza for joining us. People don't realize that without him, I don't ever come to the NAI. So it's thankful to you and guys like Jeremy Kennedy, friendships that I have with y'all and guys like Brad Neffendorf and numerous coaches around the country. And then, just thankful to y'all. So that will do it for us tonight. For Robert Garza, for Taylor Thomas, for Tyler Norris, for Connor Darnell, I'm Robbie Gutierrez, president of NAI Ball. We thank you for watching along with us and allowing us to cover this season wire to wire. Our job is not done. The award show is next in about 2 weeks away, but we are excited to have you here. Of course, for all of your news, stats, scores, and information, you can follow us at NAI Ball on X as well as Instagram and Facebook. A huge thank to our sponsors, Show Me Collegiate League, Netting Pros, and the Urban Edge Network for helping us this season. That'll do it for us. Congratulations to the LSU Shreveport Pilots, 59-0. The perfect season, the greatest season in college baseball history is complete. Until next time, we hope you have a great day and an even better tomorrow. Good night, y'all.